everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Dysfunktional Talks. We're back, the usual gang, for a third episode. You have allowed it by basically listening to the first two, I suppose, and we would have just done it if no one was listening, let's be honest. I'm here with William, since he spoke there. We'll go him first.
Yep, this time I got voices in my head too.
Yeah, running through my head. We got Jonathan.
Hola!
And we've got Connell.
We back.
Did you last this time, Connell? Just for the whole
It's fine. Seniors last and all that.
No, it's fine because you were in my segue last week and I kind of haven't forgiven you. Last month.
What?
We don't do a weekly podcast. I don't
It's been so long, man.
I don't think we can do a weekly podcast. We can stand each other that much.
Right. So I was attacking everybody in the second episode. You're going for the third. Sweet. You're very aggressive with me today.
Definitely
Don't you start.
I don't approve of this.
I'm just saying, like, you've been unnecessarily mean to me today.
Maybe you haven't necessarily deserved it.
So this episode's gonna be very fun since we've come up with some fun ideas because we don't like each other clearly.
Nope.
And
Nope.
there'll be special announcements on this episode of the podcast as long as everybody agrees to it, which we seem to be doing well.
Yep.
But everybody's doing fine. I'm assuming we'll talk enough. I'm saying everybody's doing fine. Just for the audience, we're all doing good. Just our usual selves, I think. I think that should.
I can't stop recording. They won't let me stop, please.
Yeah, that's you're not allowed to. So.
Oh, sorry. Yep, all good.
You can still.
We have noticed we've all changed our icons again. The guys thought it was funny to copy me by changing their icons every time I do because I do it too much apparently. But anyway, apart from that, we'll move right into 3-piece news. So the first piece of news I want to talk about. Two of them will kind of be tangentially connected. They are technical side of video games. So we can start off talking about port studios and video game ports. Like recently in the news about Dragon's Dogma, William was telling me about today, and then Connor, you were describing issues with it on the mechanical level too. But it does seem to be a lot from what I see in gaming news and stuff and reading articles and stuff. The ports seem to be, especially this crossing over to this generation, just getting far more difficult to do. In the sense of, like, what is it, Dragon's Dogma running bad? I remember Deathloop was running real bad when it came out a couple of years ago. Don't get me wrong, you still get examples of like really good ones.
I have one in my head right now.
What's the one in your head?
The Arkham Knight one by Ironport.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Like Batman on like the PC for like the last two like proper games, not Suicide Squad and stuff. We may as well include Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
It's just been terrible. Like, I would say the worst ever launch for them is probably Origins, but Knight's not that far behind.
Night was pretty bad. It was like everybody knew not to play Night on PC.
That was back in 2015 too. I always remember Arkham Knight because it originally was supposed to come out on my 18th birthday. I got delayed by 2 weeks. So I booked off my 18th already from work at that point, and I was absolutely raging.
Here's what
It's too late to change it.
I'm wondering, why are PC ports so bad, even though a lot of the engine are built through PC? So why is it better on consoles?
I actually know this because on console you have one like spec set that you have to make for it. You have to make the game run on this specific hardware. It's not going to change. Whereas on PC, you have to make a game that both works on the worst of PCs and the best of the best. It has to work on everything in the spectrum. So
I'm trying to say, because basically, don't a lot of companies also go through like a heavy set of QA testing, which would also be like machine limitations?
I mean, you could say that.
But that's like a point you need to bring up then, like.
It's definitely a point in the industry that needs to be addressed, more quality assurance, and also pay. Like, look at the Raven Software last year. They had a bunch of quality assurance team members that just got laid off as soon as Call of Duty came out.
Yep.
And that was one of the buggier Call of Duties too. Remember too. You're saying about the high end and thing. You'd think they're working with dev kits for PlayStation and Xbox and Switch. So them dev kits are tried and tested by this point. By this year, and PCs are constantly upgrading. Like I feel like there's always like an Nvidia event.
Yeah,
There's always a
every
AMD event.
every year or so, there's like a brand new edition.
It feels like every 6 months at this point.
Pretty much.
Like speaking of ports, like yeah, we can give examples like we're said about some bad ones and stuff, but I think especially there's some studios that are really well known for putting out fantastic ports. I think it was this week, Forbidden West got ported to PC by Nexus. They're an in-house port studio that Sony bought, and they're basically designed to bring PlayStation games over to PC. Apparently, it's a fantastic port so far, which is it's not a very common engine that's being brought to PC too, which is very impressive. Though Kojima's team already did it, so
that's kind of ironic because wasn't the original Horizon terrible when it was ported?
Yeah, I don't know. Was it the Horizon was bad or was it not? I'm actually not sure. I remember Days Gone had a rocky launch on PC.
I think Horizon did, but I think it could have been the thing that broke the camel's back. To be honest, because I remember seeing I think it might have been a lot of Reddit posts, but it could just be people being annoyed.
It was The Last of Us Part 1. The Last of Us Part 1 was awful on PC.
Yeah.
I don't know who worked on that. I know another studio that Sony owns that does ports as well. It's called Iron Galaxy. I don't know if actually they own them, but I know they work closely, and they have done a few dodgy-ish ports, but also pretty good ones. Nexus seemed to be like on top of their game. Another one I was saying about earlier to William was called Neobrads, which kind of do a lot of Capcom ones. So they've done like the Mega Man collections, they've done the Devil May Cry HD collection, which I would say that's like the definitive way to play Devil May Cry nowadays.
Yeah. I would say, I agree.
Yeah, I would say that's the one. That's the one I played more. Like I've obviously played the original. I still have my original copy of Devil May Cry 1 from 2001. I don't even get me started on that game. Actually, I'll go too much into it. But, it's just fantastic. That I was really thinking about that because of one of the games I'm currently playing was ported by Neoboard, but I'll talk about that game a bit later because I do want to bring it up, especially during the later segment.
The thing also about port companies is that if they do their job great, it's kind of seamless. It's kind of like a job you don't really notice unless it goes horribly wrong. So every time a port, but like every time you don't really think about you're playing a port of the game. You think about you're playing the game. Unless it's a bad port, then you think, oh, the people who brought this over, messed up. That's kind of like unsung sort of thing,
That's just a big nature, though. You don't notice the bad things until they get to that point. It's obvious, but like if it's a good experience, then you know it's a good experience because you're not really thinking about anything poor like that.
It's I think too, like sometimes it is good for that team to get their teeth in. Like I currently working on myself. I'm working on a small project of rebuilding a small bit of Bomberman. It's actually like working on a game that's already existed. It's actually helped me learn a lot about how games are made and stuff. You know what?
Yeah.
So I think the port studios have a lot of what to do, and it must be quite exciting too. Obviously, if you're not working on the main team, it's exciting to get to work in the guts of the game itself.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What was the thinking of like those type of ports and experiences? Is there ones that like remember? It seems to be certain studios struggle a lot with ports, like Dishonored 2. Do you remember it had a terrible PC launch? It actually like hindered the game greatly. I'm pretty sure
a lot of arcade
pretty down because of it.
They're pretty bad. Isn't it?
Yeah, it seems to be. That just reminds me though of remember the Wii, PS2, PS3, Xbox 360 generation where they're all still like around the same year. You got completely different games for each console port.
Yeah, like the Wii version of Dead Rising was absolutely insane. Like the original Dead Rising was basically just psychopaths and zombies, but in the Wii version they had like zombie poodles and zombie parrots.
Oh, fucking
and then they turned one of the. There was like a big fat female cop psychopath in the main games, but what they did for the Wii port, they actually turned her into a zombie and made her like a big fat zombie that it comes normally with like 2 giant tasers. It was really weird playing it like, but it wasn't the worst experience. It was unique for the Wii like, and it was pretty enjoyable to be honest.
Yeah, I remember the PlayStation 2 version of Force Unleashed is the one I played. And I remember going to school one day. Yeah, there was, and because I didn't have a PS3 or Xbox 360 at the time. I remember going to school and everybody saying, "Oh, remember when you fought Darth Maul?" And I was like, "They're all lying. Like that doesn't happen in the game. That is completely not in the PS2 version." And they were like, "It felt so cool pulling down the Star Destroyer," and I was like, "That's a cutscene. What are you on about?" It didn't have a cutscene on the PS2 version.
Yeah, I had the same sort of experience, but it was with Sonic Generations on the 3DS. Like, people were talking about the console releases and how they had so much more content. I'm like, what do you mean? You just run around random zones, like, in a 2D plane? We're like, oh, no, you do all this as well? And I'm just like, what? You don't even notice until someone else brings it up to you?
I couldn't even picture playing a Sonic game on the handheld, like.
It was, I'll be honest, it wasn't great.
It's going to remaster, isn't it?
Down to my heart.
Yeah, it's got a sequel and a remaster. Oh no, sorry, no, it's not. It's I thought it was a sequel. No, they're basically kind of doing what like other games do by adding in Shadow as like with extra stuff.
Oh, that like other games. You're talking Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, the expansion pack. You remember that?
Yeah, but I also remember.
I'm my age.
I think it was like Devil May Cry 2 because I never played it originally until I played the HD collection, and then when you started it up, I think it is 2, and you're able to select the girl as well. I was like,
what
the hell is this? I didn't know that. I thought that was sort of the same.
It was like 2 discs originally.
Yeah,
it was awesome. See, when I was a kid and got that 2-disc box, I was like, this game is going to be the best game ever.
The one good thing about the game.
I remember, what was it? Remember like during the days when everyone was like Xbox and PlayStation Wars. I remember everyone used like Metal Gear Solid 4 as like, PlayStation has this. And I remember Kojima went on an interview and he was like, yeah, if Metal Gear Solid 4 went on the 360, it would have been 3 discs. At this day, I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it was the same with a lot of things. Like I remember Final Fantasy 13. One of them was multiple discs on the Xbox 360.
I think the first one was 2 discs. Yeah.
Yeah, and Lost Odyssey is 4 discs, which I kind of like that. Like, sure, the whole thing with Lost Odyssey was 4 discs by Mistwalker Studios. Hibinu, I can't even say his name. Hibinu Sakaguchi. Had it out there. The creator of Final Fantasy, or one of the founding creators anyway. Yeah, a very game I would really, really want to play. But, unfortunately, Microsoft own the rights to it. So, given how Microsoft has intended to bring most of their majority games over, there's hope. And that actually, I was actually going to bring us into a different thing, but this perfectly segues us. Mr. Walker actually worked on another game called Blue Dragon. And its art style was taken from Akira Toriyama. And that's the other piece, next piece of 3-piece news, the passing of Akira Toriyama.
Oh,
that was the one I knew we were definitely going to talk about because I think in some way Akira Toriyama has affected us. In our personal life, be that in our creative, artistic expression, all out there, he was a massive creative force for us. And Blue Dragon, one of the games he worked on, Dragon Quest, his art style is like you see his art style. That's Akira Toriyama. It's so beautiful and fantastic, and I'm a huge fan of Dragon Ball Z. Arnold, you are too. You literally recently got a tattoo.
And the day after he was announced dead, I felt so bittersweet because I had finally marked his work on my body, and then that happened. I still am very sad. The man was an absolute legend, and childhood won't be the same, like, you know.
I remember coming home every day after primary school and rushing home
for Dragon Ball Z.
The double feature of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
All UGD haters.
I'm so bittersweet about it because like One Piece is my favorite anime, but it took a world record from Dragon Ball, which was the longest running fight, which originally was Super Saiyan 1 Goku versus Frieza. And and the Luffy Katakuri fight took it, and I was like, no, any other show, not this one.
That's the thing too. That's the impact of Akira Toriyama too, though, because we wouldn't have One Piece, we wouldn't have Bleach, we wouldn't have the big three at the time.
We wouldn't have, and that's the scary thing to think about. Like even JJK and stuff.
He took the concept of Fist of the North Star, which is one of my personal favorite. Took that concept of that strong hero but started us out with him as a kid, and we've went through his entire life. We've seen him have kids, we've seen his kids have kids. It's just it's beautiful, and nothing will ever beat Bruce Faulkner's soundtrack for Dragon Ball Z.
And you know what? He's one of the best examples in our sort of avenue of entertainment as an underdog story, because he kept getting knocked back and he just kept drawing and kept going. It is a brilliant tale of a guy reaching success and touching the hearts of many generations. Like, you can say what you want, but he got the goddamn cartel to claim a ceasefire over his death. Like, who's done that? Who's done that?
You've got it when you do that.
Like,
the inspiration and the love and admiration for the man is insane. Like, I saw Saudi Arabia is building a freaking theme park of Dragon Ball Z. Like, it's not just all these places around the world. Like, it's just you love to see little impacts around the world. You know what it is?
Yeah.
So even you saying about he inspired One Piece, which he wholeheartedly did. Oda's came out, but Oda really hasn't taken a break from One Piece properly unless he needs health. Like a surgery or his health. If it was really bad, but he's actually, from the last chapter he released there, which I believe was Tuesday, I think. But he is actually now taking a 3-week hiatus to just collect himself, which hasn't been seen for 4 years. It's insane.
Yeah, and thinking like he probably got his work. But I'm not obviously assuming here, but his work out from Akira Toriyama, because Akira Toriyama, like, he has his impact on video games as well. You got Chrono Trigger, you've got Dragon Quest. Like, the whole thing about Dragon Quest is it literally started a myth. The game were so popular that they had to move them to Saturdays because Japanese people kept phoning in sick. Obviously, they just moved it to Saturdays because there's more people off. They're going to sell more copies, but the impact that series has, and his art style is a huge component of that. And we're lucky that he didn't hold on to his skills and techniques. He taught as much people as possible. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. Even like current manga, for the past few chapters, he's had like I forget their name, but he had somebody underneath them who was teaching to draw and make the story. I think they did the last arc was entirely them.
So technically, Akira Toriyama hasn't properly touched Dragon Ball like properly since I think it was when they remade the movies into the series. Now, obviously, he didn't draw or anything, but the guy you're on, I can't remember his name either, though, but he's basically the way your man, who, I forget his name, I feel terrible forgetting Berserk's author's name, like, Mura's, like, I think it was, like, his help, or, like, a guy he taught is basically taking over Berserk. And the last thing that Akira Toriyama, Daimo, which is coming out soon this year, originally he was just meant to look over it, but he ended up being, I think, a good 60% in it. Like, that's his last proper story, like.
Yeah, it's just I love that he wasn't selfish with his talent. He shared it. And he produced his work and then taught others how to do it too. Like, I'm not scared. I'm not worried for Dragon Quest and its art style or quality going down, because I feel like he taught them well enough. And I think like he wasn't involved with the series the whole way through. They came to him out of respect and asked him. Dragon Quest 12, I think, will be announced this year, like, properly, with gameplay and stuff, which so freaking excited for. That's just wanted us to pay a bit of respect. I think I'm definitely going to rewatch all of Dragon Ball Z. I have every single one episode, so I
think it needs to be done.
And I have all the Broly movies on video. So if I dig out my VHS back and watch that,
that's an experience.
It would be so good. On my Wii, was it like a 9? I think it's like a 7 or 9-inch TV, VHS TV. I don't have it anymore. But that says if I got one of those again. The other thing I wanted to talk about for Free Piece News is new. Now, I think we've all seen a Marvel movie. Maybe some of us haven't, but this new game is being developed by Skydance Studio, sorry, which is I feel like it's something Skydance is something to do with Robert Kirkman. I think he owns that Skydance Studios and like the filming arm, who's like the creator of The Walking Dead and stuff. But Amy Hennig is the director of this new Marvel game. It's the Captain America Black Panther one. And it's being called 1943 Rise of Hydra. So Amy Hennig is like the director for the first 3 Uncharted games. She was the director and writer. So you know she's got good storytelling chops.
I think good hands, yeah.
Yeah. And she has been screwed over for the past, I'd say, 12 years in the video game world. Once she left Naughty Dog in 2014, I think, she then went to Visceral Games, who are known for Dead Space, Dante's Inferno. They were working on a project, Ragtag it was called, a Star Wars game. It got cancelled by EA, then Visceral got shut down. She worked on a few side projects and stuff, and now she's basically in charge of this massive Marvel game. But I don't know if any of you guys get to see it's in-game engine gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
They did a tech demo at the Unreal event.
Yeah, I saw the demo just before we started doing this. Yeah, it looks so good.
It is crazy. Like I'm not a big graphics buff whatsoever. Like you see the games I mostly play, that's not what they're for. They were at their time, obviously, but this game actually was like truly impressing me.
Yeah.
Technology it was using, and like
both the environments and the characters are just insane.
Oh yeah, like and the way they're used. I just like the snow tessellation effects and all that. I was like, what the hell is going on here? No, I wish we saw gameplay, to be honest, because I kind of I really want to see. I loved Captain America so much. He's probably one of my favorite heroes because I just love the idea of a man who uses a fist and shield. I just think that's so fun. But yeah, like Jonathan, what were you saying about the actual technology they're using? Any more to speak on that?
So as I said, just as we were in call earlier, and I hadn't seen it yet. I saw it on my newsfeed like a week ago, but I never got around to watching it until today. And just the character animations, all that, it's so smooth. Like, you can tell it's not like real life humans, but it's still got that realness, just encaptures it. And the environments, all the pieces, it looks like they've all just been, hours have been spent on all of them, maybe even days, on all those pieces. Like, it's just so uncanny to reality, where you're just like, what? What?
Yeah, it definitely does this. It uses the metahuman technology, but like the nth degree. Have you seen it, Colin?
I have heard of it, but because I like sort of that setting of game, and I'm a big OG Captain America fan, I like the World War II stories of it. I don't want to spoil it for me. This is the first game in a while where I'm really confident in that it won't whitewash. So I am excited, but I just don't want to say nothing because I want a full experience.
Yeah, no, it's honest, man. It's got a strong team behind. Then what do you think? Do you think you'll play this game when it comes out? It's announced for next year.
Yeah, probably. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of done with Marvel movies for now. I'll see Deadpool, but that's just I think
that's the last one for me.
I'm on a thread by Deadpool.
I feel like if we want to get into Marvel talk, Deadpool, if that flops, Marvel's nowhere really to go.
I just don't see how it would, unless they've took control of Ryan Reynolds and stuff.
No. He fought for control.
Yeah,
they're not taking it away from him.
That's
his love child.
Yeah, that's a child.
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I think the interesting things can happen now in video games. I would love to see, and not an overload of it like it was with movies, because obviously the movies got too much at one point. I enjoyed most of them. Don't get me wrong, especially Winter Soldier. It's actually just one of the best movies made ever.
It's pretty good.
Avengers 2 is hard to beat for me. It's really Ultron as a villain.
Oh, that's fair. That's actually that's a sizzling take.
There's a little spicy take.
Yeah, it's a little hot, not hot, but
not as hot as yours. But
a wee sprinkle. It's
got a kick. It's got a kick. You're like, oh, didn't expect that. But yeah, that's the 3-piece news then, guys. We'll move on to someone's got some problems in this group of us, this podcast collective. We've got a lot of issues, mostly related to skill. today, and Jonathan, I want to make this very clear. You need to tell your R count on this before you go off on one.
Oh, don't worry, I was going to lead with that. So, I'll say it here now, and it's very well known, I do not know jack about most games, and these guys can agree for that.
That's very true. You really don't know anything.
But there was one game... There was one game I played for quite a while, since I believe I played it up until 3 years ago. Would have been from when I was 14 to 18. And it is a very, very, very annoying game called Dead by Daylight. And as far as I'm aware...
This is gonna be fun.
Conal has played it, and William has played it. I've discussed it a wee bit with the two of them. But basically...
I love how you know I just haven't played it.
It's like a multiplayer game.
It's a multiplayer game.
You're away sending your wee arcade machine while Dead by Daylight players were on the rise. Nah,
no, it's 100% true.
I started playing the game, and I did not know anything about it. I was just going around doing random things, and it was okay, and I got addicted for 3 years. And then I sat down, and I was like, this game is extremely unbalanced, and it sucks. Like, basically, the way they work in this company for it, Behavior Interactive, they basically put out patch notes every 3 months. Basically, every season, they have a new killer. They have a mid-chapter patch, which sort of addresses issues with the new killers and any existing killers. Sort of like, they'll do overhauls, they'll change their, like, stats, like their speed, their attack power, all that. And aside from that, really, the game just isn't good. And it hasn't been good in years. Like, I'm talking about... No, I usually just sat in a call with a bunch of friends, and joined a lobby, found a killer, annoyed the hell out of them for a good 20 minutes until either A, they rage quit, B, they put one of us in the basement in the game. Basically, if you're in the basement, it's a game over. You just get knocked down and then hooked and killed. But then, I think it was in 2019 or 2020, actually it might have been 2020 or 2021, basically the game had a bunch of like movement tech. You could moonwalk, you could spin, you could like 360 killers, which was a big part of the game's like chases. And then the devs just came around, it's like, nope, killer's not having fun, time to get rid of it. And then the game also had a bunch of ping and lag issues where if you were like to vault a window, after maybe about, let's say you vault a window, your hitbox is still in that window even after you've left it. And because of lag back on the game, a killer would literally swing through that window when you're already 2 feet away from it, and you get hit and downed. And I'll be honest, if you go to any of the content creators that are currently on the game who have played since back then, it's been improved, yes, but it's still not perfect. And I think that's the main issue about the game. It always gets balanced. It made Labor of Love one year, when it just was balance over balance over balance. Like, Will, could you agree with this? Because I know you played about 100 hours in the game, yeah?
Yeah, about 100 hours. In terms of like YouTubers, I feel like there's only one that's hanging on, that's like Ostarva, and the rest are like slowly breaking in EVs.
Well, should we put a bit of context in the difference between the three of us?
Yeah.
So, for me, multiplayer games that I get kind of engaged with, I put about 20 to 30 hours in. And for Dead by Daylight, that's about 30 hours combining PC and console. As William said, it's 100 hours for him.
Yeah. If I
Jonathan,
a game, I get addicted.
Jonathan, how many hours?
Just give or take 3,200 or so. Yeah.
Alright.
Just... I'm just a casual player. I'm just a casual player. Yeah.
What was that, Tristan?
That's probably how much hours I put in the Bayonetta.
And all for the wrong reasons.
all the right reasons?
Well, he's playing the game for most of the time. Can you say
he's playing the PlayStation 3 version.
Your hands were off that controller, that's all I'll say.
Nah. I would actually rather be playing Bayonetta right now than listen to Dead by Daylight.
Yeah.
Anyone would believe me.
I don't even know what this game is, by the way. What is this?
Is
this the game with the Chuck? Is this the game with the Chucky?
Yeah, they just added Chucky in like 2 patches ago.
It's the only game that competes with Mortal Kombat for cameo characters that are actually represented correctly, in my opinion.
No, that's why it works so well for them. Like, the game is crap, but because they have Michael Myers, they have the pig from Saw, They have Ghostface. Well, they have Ghostface in quotation marks because it's apparently not the real Ghostface.
It's like a different.
They got Freddy Krueger.
So, by the just the gameplay, Tristan, is you use 4 survivors. They have to repair 5 generators and then escape the facility. There's one killer.
Like Friday the 13th game.
Yeah. It's like Friday the 13th game, but like way worse.
That game got cancelled because they couldn't afford.
I was gonna say, like,
that game could have been
so good. Like, they were about to bring out Jason X on Friday the 13th, and I was so excited. They brought like a behind the scenes, like talking about the cast and crew, which was a hidden mini game for a release of the character, and it never went any more than that. I was so annoyed for a week.
Every time I played David Dale, I was like, I wish Friday the 13th was still popular, or still playable.
It was so annoying playing Friday the 13th. That made it so good because he had voice chat and you would just like you'd be slurring at each other, whether it be the Jason to the survivors or survivors to another survivor.
Yeah, they're so good.
Like Tristan, a cool thing they done for it was when they had Freddy Krueger, he wasn't physically in front of the characters. He brought one of them into the dream world to kill them.
But that was the worst possible killer.
No, it was AIDS. I played that meta. Like, it wasn't like when Freddy was like overpowered, but I feel like
he was underpowered because basically you had to spend 5 to 10 seconds basically luring a player into the dream world where they could still coexist in the same world as other players. But if they went to, let's say, a generator or another survivor and failed a skill check, they wake up, so the effect's gone completely. So if you're sitting on a generator, just constantly pressing your spacebar or F key to do a skill check and feel it, you're never going to get attacked. They had to rework it for that exact issue. But you know what? I have to give game some credit. The only thing that's keeping that thing on by a margin is the marketing team.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of the last thing they did or the last big thing. Like the new killer that came out. Well, there was also that new one, The Unknown, where like they brought in basically something that looks like kind of like a mix of The Thing. Like a parasite thing. Like their stuff on that looks really good. No, we don't talk about the Demon Sim. I have not seen it. I will not see it. Like they just tried to go for a completely different demographic. It's basically just one big guy, like one big bulky guy in a hockey mask, and like but like it's like Sailor Lederhosen. And everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is the best game ever! This is the best game ever! Visual novel, hooray, hooray!"
Like, it is far better than the main game.
Okay, yeah, you've got a point there.
Well, how many hours in that game do you have? 4 or 5, and you still hate it?
Yeah,
we don't talk about that.
To be fair, about 200 was research for a project last year.
Actually, yeah, I reinstalled it, but the thing is that I did on Xbox, so I put another 200 hours on Xbox.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Like the Xbox Game Pass, because I didn't work. Yeah, no, you tried to see me there, but I just like swam myself back in there. Now I had to bring up they did work on another IP, Behavior Interactive. I thought might have actually surpassed it. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a game called Blood Garden.
I have not.
Basically it was the same sort of thing. Basically you had a class of people called runners. I think it was either one or a team of them, but there was also the anti-team, which were like you basically had to get hunted down by them. But you had to go around the map, collect supplies, and do objectives. Like, it's kind of like, I want to say it's sort of like Helldivers, but like it's a PvP game. And I thought it would do really well. They started doing cameos between Dead by Daylight and Bloodborne. You actually sort of like combine them both. And then it just flopped. The only thing I think that company's really holding on to right now is Dead by Daylight.
I thought they were releasing a new horror game.
Are they? It's not that mouse one. It's not the mouse one, no. Or not the rabbit one. I don't think that's them.
I'm pretty sure there's like an announcement about it.
I have to double check this after, like, I'll probably ask Editor Maddie, to like actually put in the name of it if.
Hiya, so this is Editor Maddie here. I had to actually message Johnny for this. But it was the casting of Frank Stone. So yeah, I hope you enjoy.
But as far as I'm aware, I think that's the only thing they're working on right now, unless like there's like some hidden project.
Well, it could be something in the pipeline, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, that's just the issue. Like, I didn't want to play Dead by Daylight for so long. I was like, my crutch was Friday the 13th, and then that fell off. and then Identity V, which was another similar game, was meant to like start becoming really popular. It didn't. It just fell flat again. So that went off. Like, the only reason a game survived that long is A, the marketing team, and B, it's the only game that's actually stuck to that genre and actually made it work as well as it does. But the players will say it themselves. They dislike the game. They love the cosmetics. They love the costumes. They love the characters. They just hate the gameplay.
Love everything around the game except the game.
Yeah. I've got an idea for them, right?
Okay.
Play it. Just don't play the game.
Oh. That's a wee bit.
Well,
you know what?
That is.
When I don't like a game. When I don't like a game, I stop playing it, and not only that I stop playing it, I will never touch that shitty fucking game ever again.
Well, I'm sorry to say, but me saying that will not get me the last 3,000 hours of my life back.
That's true.
Like, I genuinely blame that for why I have not watched films, I have not watched books. I came home from like secondary school every day, and I was like, you know what? I have work, I could do something else, but no, I'm just gonna play Dead by Daylight and spend my life on nothing.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I started with my childhood, Jesus.
Yeah, you think yours is bad? I played Dead by Daylight when I was 14.
That's torture.
I'll take my Ratchet
in the darkness.
Bolded by it didn't come out until I hated the game.
But you know what?
Would you like to come out and play football? No,
I'm playing Dead by Daylight with the boys. No, but you know what? Just a skill issue. I should have just been better. It's just a skill issue.
Should have put another 3,000 in it.
Yeah,
indeed, but just a skill issue.
Womp womp.
Womp 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 womp.
Well, that will move us on to our next segment. As I have stated multiple times before, me and Connell are quite old gamers, and Connell much older than me currently. I'm going to keep bringing it up until I cannot.
He's going.
This game actually isn't that old, but
it's a decade.
Yeah, it's a decade now. Jesus, yeah, you were in your 30s then, Connell.
Yeah.
You 22.
Yeah. But Connell, let's see if you get the name of your segment right this time. Go ahead.
Remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember that.
No, Manchester riddled ass. Now,
Round of applause.
Obviously, the last couple have been from Tristan and I sort of era of things, but I feel like I let the other two younglings out of it, so we'll get one more recent. But it's not to say it's a good one. It's gonna hurt William a bit talking about this. So, me, Tristan, and William, and Johnny does like it, are advocates of the Devil May Cry franchise. I think we mentioned it in podcast 2 a bit.
Yeah.
We're talking about Devil May Cry 2013.
Why? Just why?
Because you gotta remember the good, the bad, and the ugly.
You could have picked any game.
No, it's the OG one, because I think Definitive was 2016, so this is the OG one.
Yeah, I'm out then.
It's
the same game. Yeah.
No, Definitive Edition fixes every single issue with that game.
What's the issues that you think that it had?
So issues include the whole mechanical system of with the weapons. You have to attack each one. You can't even in the original game. You can't actually stun or attack enemies if you use the angelic weapons or demon weapons. In the Definitive Edition, you can at least stun them, which allows you to do more combos and pull off cooler tricks. It also fixed the lock-on in the DMC Definitive Edition by actually having a lock-on.
It did fix it, yeah.
And they also put it they didn't lock it at 30 frames, which is a character action game. It should be 60 frames.
Yeah.
It was much better Definitive Edition, but I did not like the original until I played Definitive Edition, and I love the game now.
To be fair, I think it has some of the more interesting weapons of the Devil May Cry franchise. Now, this is coming from me, who probably his favorite game's 4, because I love Pandora. But I liked the Angelic and the, I think specifically the Angelic Scythe, and then I really liked the demonic, like, big giant heavy axe. I can't even remember the names. But I think the reason I kind of want to talk about this specifically was because I was looking at a lot of like older gaming news, and specifically the one piece that stuck out to me about this game was when the devs of Capcom clashed with their fans over the main character Dante's design.
Oh yes.
So obviously, those that have played like Devil May Cry's 1 to 5 without playing DMC 2013, Dante's lacks, laid back, carefree. Not, I would never really call Dante serious unless he's in like a really mad fight. But even after that, he sort of has his wee quips at the end, kind of like Frank Webb.
Even during the fight, he's never serious.
Yeah, but that was kind of changed to make him like more serious and emo-like. And it sort of resulted from the fan base calling him emo to the devs getting really angry to it pivoting to him being known as a gay cowboy.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
But why would it make such a drastic change to his character? That's what I don't understand. Like,
well,
I don't know about these games.
It was meant to be a reboot. There was never meant to be a sequel originally from 4, which I thought was really questionable to bring Nero in and end the story there, because I loved Nero. And Dante,
there was supposed to be a sequel.
Oh, did they just want to do the reboot anyway?
No, 4 so poorly.
Yeah, 4 was
in that era, Capcom's expectations for what video games should sell were ridiculous.
Yeah.
They were on a bad streak at that time as well, were they not? Like, do you know like Capcom
That's where it started.
Ups and downs? Like,
it started 2008, really, with I think 2007 came out Street Fighter 4, and then 2008 was or maybe not, it was not either early, but 2008 was Devil May Cry 4, and it was unfinished, and yeah, that's just, that streak ended eventually. I would say Resident Evil 7, really, and Monster Hunter World. But thank God it did, because Capcom. Dragon's Dogma 2, maybe.
I would say no, Dead Rising 4. Like, my God.
I shut down that studio, so don't worry.
Yeah, thank God. But I would say one of the more interesting things I would say about this game is, like, obviously from DMC 1 to 4, we had like various different demonic like enemy designs, but they just seemed to like with the reboot altogether, like they rebooted everything. Like most of the enemies, in my opinion, were like gothic horror, like dolls. Yeah, I would say, over actual demonic entities, which, I mean, for what they were going for, it was pretty cool, because they were going for like a parallel dimension, like an in-between dimension between the world, which was limbo. Sorry, which was, I thought, was pretty interesting. But I don't know, like the whole series, like from a combat standpoint, from the definitive edition, it landed it well. But obviously, if you played the game when it first came out, me and Tristan can both say it was shite.
Yeah, it wasn't. It just, at the time when it came out, I think there was a few months between it and Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. I would really think. I do think, looking back now, and I'm talking Definitive Edition versus Revengeance, combat is much more deeper in DMC 2013. Purely due to weapon switching. Weapon switching is too awkward in Metal Gear Rising.
Yeah, it is a menu you have to go into to do that.
Yeah, and if they remaster it, I swear to God, if they put weapon switching in Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, they put a smooth weapon switching, that game will be absolutely a masterpiece.
I think the reason for that is obviously they were trying to encapsulate it being a Metal Gear game, which a Metal Gear, like, swapping weapons a lot of the time is quite, you can't really do it on the fly, which makes sense. But I just think Rising was more of a duel game as opposed to, like, I can't really say not combo-y game, because obviously what you can do, but you know what I mean, it's like a one-on-one duel thing without swapping weapons, if you know what I mean, like Sekiro.
And more focused on like parrying and stuff like that.
Definitely.
But I think that if they do release it, they need to release weapon switch, and that game will be fucking perfection.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, just let go of that Metal Gear thing. Like, that's just the last thing they need to let go. Like, the story's Metal Gear, the characters are Metal Gear, But the DMC 2013, like you're saying about the game, that game I think just got a really unfair rap at the time.
Well, see, for me,
I did too, but it had good in it.
For me personally, the thing I really like about Devil May Cry, specifically Dante, is that when he gets new weapons, they're all not the same, and they're all really unique. Like, for example, he had obviously Coyote, Ebony Ivory, and then his sword, and then he got I think he got these like he got like a knuckle duster set with like gauntlets.
Yeah.
Sorry, he got gauntlets with like shoes that made him do like heavy combos, and then Pandora was just fucking amazing. Like that transformed into like 9 or 10 different forms. One of them let you fly for brief seconds with like homing missiles and stuff. But I just feel like, you know, the uniqueness of the weapons for me anyway is just that sort of aspect of liking it. I liked like the different like DMC's 2013's like weapons. They looked really cool, but I just didn't see them as unique. They just felt like weapons with a color palette of good or evil, as opposed to being unique weapons.
Yeah. I suppose you. By the way, the weapon you're talking about, the gauntlets, I think that's Ifrit in 4. I know it's definitely in 1. I've played 1 way more. So
yeah.
I actually was just thinking, do we all have a different take on what our favorite Devil May Cry games?
Beowulf. It's Beowulf. That's what it is.
I think we all have a different take on our favorites.
Yeah, mine's 4.
Oh no, it's 5.
Mine's 5.
Mine's 4 because it's the very first one that I played, and Nero was probably one of my favorite video game characters growing up.
Mine's 1, so.
Well, I will say,
well,
5 and 3 are interchangeable for me in terms of my favorite.
Yeah.
5 and 3.
Yeah.
And Jonathan's is 2.
Yeah, mine's of course 2.
Yeah, you definitely know what it's like.
I love when he cried that devil. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Hold on.
Yeah, that. Maybe really want to play the Definitive Edition again.
Oh, sorry, no. So I said it was Beowulf. That's not. That's from. That's 3.
Yeah.
That's 3. Sorry, it's Gilgamesh. That's what it is.
Oh, Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh. Sorry, I just want. Yeah, it was Gilgamesh and Pandora. That's what it was. Apologies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Ifrit is 1. That's what I'm getting confused of.
Yeah, and then there was I think Sparta as well. But yeah. I think the original release definitely it deserved the hate it got. But I think the main issue I think we can all kind of agree on is just the dev going a bit nuts over like people's like people not liking the character, which I mean
it makes there is the one scene in the game that I think everybody who knows about the game is like the scene where they got the right wig and then said not me and Frozen. Like that's definitely like started showing off to the fans of no you wouldn't like this.
Yeah.
But I think that was put in after the controversy
in a million years. Yeah, I think it was too. The remember the freaking scene, the dialogue in that game is something shocking. Like I think the story is pretty bad, you know.
I love it whenever spoilers, I guess, but Virgil shoots a pregnant lady.
Yeah.
Dreadful.
And then Dante mocks the guy after.
Yeah, it's not wrong.
Yeah, and what about the famous scene? Fuck you, no, fuck you, no, fuck you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my god. I think I like it. I like the whole Definitive Edition fixed the key system too. If you guys remember, the key system in the original release was awful. You had to get like individual keys for every single door. It was nuts.
I think they really took too much from Resident Evil doing that, to be honest. Like I didn't enjoy it. I just prefer the gauntlets of enemies.
I don't even think you can blame Resident Evil for that because it was Ninja Theory that did it. But in fairness, Ninja Theory went on to do some incredible work with Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Yeah,
which we can all just pray and hope comes to PlayStation.
Yeah.
Put this second one because that game looks intense.
Like I'll say this, like it's not the first game for this to happen where the fan base turns on someone over sort of like the character. I mean, even look at Metal Gear Solid 2, like it's probably the most hated because of Raiden.
Yeah.
Like, but
at the time it definitely was.
Now I
was being nuts about that.
I would consider 2 my favorite Metal Gear now. After replaying them from 3, but yeah, like it's not unheard of. But I honestly think that the devs sort of clashing with the fans for one, and then obviously putting the fuck you scene with the wig in. I just think it wasn't received in good taste at all, and I feel like that's a good portion of the hate it gets. And then just I think the whole art style pivot just wasn't welcomed at all in the least. Like
Yeah.
At least it was fixed in the Definitive Edition, at least. A lot of the issues.
A lot of it was really, and I would recommend anybody play the game in Definitive Edition. To be honest, you like a character action and fun combat games.
I just recommend the rest of the series. To be honest,
5 definitely.
Yes, especially 2, especially.
Yeah, obviously
that is, and but that so it is.
Thank you, bro.
So we'll move on to Platinum Bet. So, Connell, you are currently sitting at 5.
Yep.
Want to discuss what you've been playing?
I have not been playing anything. I have been going through gamer block right now, where every so often I get in a rut where I can't bring myself ready to play anything. It happens maybe once every
It's that most guys.
7 months. 7 months.
Never happened to me, like, but yeah.
Well, no, the worst that got was like I told you guys about this. Like I think summer of last year, where I was just walking home from work and I just thought, what am I doing? And I knew sold everything.
We're on a midlife crisis at like 26.
I literally just went, what the hell am I doing? What am I doing this for? Why can't I just sell all this? And then I got home and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Oh my god.
It was bad. It was that was the worst. This is just I can't be annoyed playing nothing at the minute. But we'll touch on why that's going to change anyway later on.
Yeah, and people, like I'm like the underdog here. I made a new account. I was at 0 again, but I'm like I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna take advantage of Connell's rut. I'm gonna come at him with everything I got. So I got a platinum, an old drifter, fantastic little shmup, brilliant, very fun, quick and easy platinum. Did not know before I played, but that was quite nice. So I got 1 point. I was on the board. I was on the freaking board.
Again.
I was like, do you know what I haven't played? You know what I haven't played since it came out? The Order 1886. I remember that game being fun and people hating on it. Do you know what? Still a solid game. Kind of wish we got a sequel. Another platinum, 2 points on the board, and I played a game that didn't have a platinum called Jesus, I'm gonna try and pronounce this. We're just gonna call it short. We're gonna call it Short Piece. I'm not gonna try and pronounce that freaking name. It's a Suda51 Grasshopper joint. It was like a multimedia project. I have anime movies and stuff. It's all in the package. It's brilliant. It's a 100% game. I almost got 100% on it, which would have been half a point. Didn't. Pardon me. So I moved on to Prey. I was playing Prey. I was enjoying it. And the game got a bit annoying to me, to be honest. So I was sitting at 2 points, ranking them up. And then Saturday I made a new account and back to 0.
Every podcast you get less and less.
I'm honestly feel like the audience should be impressed by my dedication, not to win.
I just think they're trying to get more for the ending segment, to be honest.
You think I really am at this point, but I'm doing it to myself. But on the plus side, I saw this thing on Reddit, and I'll just say it on the podcast because it was actually so cool. This person, that they had basically made this notebook, and they wrote down each of the trophies from a certain game, and they just got a wee dopamine rush stroking off the trophy once they got it. PlayStation Tracks trophies or whatever. As William was probably about to say there.
Yeah, I was going to say, they already have this really neat inbuilt feature where they show you the trophies and they track it if you get it or not. They even have a cool note.
Yeah. It'd be cool if they had that.
This is future, no Tristan. Come on.
Me being very specific, I wanted to write it in a book, so I did that. And the game I'm currently playing is Onimusha Warlords. I actually beat it this morning. This game, I just want to gush about this game for a while. If anybody doesn't know, Onimusha came out in 2001, made by Capcom. It was a predecessor to a lot of action games. It was a famous story where Hideki Kamiya was playtesting it before it released, and he discovered a glitch where he could juggle enemies up in the air. And then he later implemented that into Devil May Cry.
I think that's so cool.
I love stuff like that. But Onimusha is basically, if we were just being derivative, it's Resident Evil of Samurais. It's a 6 out of 6. Fucking amazing game. It is contender right now with my favorite game of all time.
What's the other ones?
Yeah. My other favorite games of all time.
Yeah, what is the
what would be like the joint contender? Yeah,
the joint contender. Well, TBD. I'm not telling you.
he does this all the time. Why are you surprised, Johnny?
Yeah,
I want to think better of him. He keeps me going back and back and back.
He loves it.
Other top games of all time for me would be Bayonetta, Devil May Cry, Ikaruga, Killer is Dead.
I think Kingdom Hearts 2 will be up there when you play it.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it will
this year.
You got me into Killer is Dead. It was so good. Like, I never finished it, but those first few chapters, French kiss.
Yeah, it is. It's style over substance. I'll be honest, but it's so good with the style.
The second fight, I think you were in you went upstairs into like a house, like a dollhouse, and you're fighting like a wee girl in there. That was such a fight.
Yeah, it was hard, and she turned into this freaking like insectoid thing.
Yeah.
But Onimusha, the setup is basically like the story it's fucking insane. Where basically you go to this village, you're princess, you're a samurai, and Lord Ogunaga, famous, Japanese warlord, is killed in the middle of battle. Is then resurrected by a demon army when he does a pack of a demon, and it just escalates from there. You do combat, you solve puzzles. They're very fun. They're rewarding. And it's a very short game. It's like you can beat it in 4 hours. I'm going to platinum it because I'm just loving it so much, and I'm so excited to play it again. The soundtrack is so good, and I've got a funny story about the soundtrack, which I learned this week. Made me laugh. So the soundtrack for the remaster is different, and I think it's fantastic. The original soundtrack was created, and I can't remember his name specifically, but he was created by a famous Japanese composer. And this guy was like respected in Japan for his orchestra. Because he was deaf.
Oh.
And he was so beloved and respected, and he won all these awards in like a 30-year-long career. But the issue with him the issue with it was that he wasn't actually deaf.
Oh. You gotta give it away for making music.
He kept them.
Oh no, that's not what give it. Oh no, because like obviously people who are deaf or blind can make beautiful music and stuff, like Stevie Wonder and all that there. But
true.
One of the ways he got caught was they went to do an interview with him to celebrate him in this Japanese magazine. They rang the doorbell and he answered.
Dude.
Well, there actually are devices for that.
Yeah, but
maybe he had empty tins attached to his toe.
Yeah.
No, they were just suspicious at the start. Then he started answering questions before his interpreter had even started signing.
How do you get away with it for 30 years and then you get caught on that?
He just guessed what they were saying, obviously.
That was very funny. The soundtrack is brilliant for Onimusha. The remaster one, the one I've heard. I did listen to a bit of the old one. I actually prefer the remaster, to be honest. He also stole a lot of works, so he did. Great guy overall. But,
it seems like
I recommend anybody playing Onimusha. It is a contender for my favorite game of all time. And if I'm being 100% serious, I'm not making this shit up, much like William isn't either.
Yeah, William? I'm not making this shit up, where I have got a game story badly written out, but everything I say is true, and these guys have to guess what the game is. And this time I'm not starting off from the dawn of time like so many game plots do. We're starting off for some reason. We're starting off at like roughly modern day humanity. Where, as per usual, they're on the verge of destruction or extinction from a giant monster.
Okay.
The world is then saved by a group of heroes. The heroes use a mixture of magic and science to fight the monster. They also begin to mass produce weapons to also make other people help fight the monster. During this fight, an organization is made to store these weapons, and they were pretty much created to protect them and store them to make sure they're used properly. The heroes then die in the fight, but manage to defeat the monster and save the world. That is the prelude. We're going decades later. where the organization is now a worldwide, like pretty much owns the world, as they use the weapons powers to manage every facet of society. Eventually, their power and their widening socioeconomic gaps they made it so civil wars around the world began against the organization. But this has made it so, after one of the major resistance groups were killed, the organization began enforcing harder rules and started adding the death penalty to certain rebels. Now, the game itself follows one of the rebels of the organization with the largest bounty in history, and strength comparable to an army. He has already destroyed a bunch of the bases of the organization, and is now after the largest base inside a capital city. The organization then sends the best soldiers to kill them, including the most famous war hero and their personal assistant. But there's an ulterior motive, as the reason the rebel is destroying these bases is because they use a power generated from a portal that leads to a base in between dimensions. The monster that originally attacked humanity came from this portal, and the rebel is trying to stop another threat from emerging the portal, which is an artificial AI human.
That sounds like a fucking isekai.
The rebel then finds himself in the portal, but is too late as the artificial human is created. It then tries to kill the main character. The main character loses the fight, and instead of killing him, the artificial human instead grabs onto the main character and jumps into the well with him. This then reveals that the portal is also does time travel, where they time travel back to roughly modern day, where because of them two going to the portal, the main rebel turns into the monster that destroys the world. With the main plot of the game being to stop the time loop that is constantly taking place of the rebel jumping into the portal and becoming a monster.
Why'd you have to bring time loop into it?
But I like.
You know what I'm thinking of, but I know it's not true.
Is this
a third-person action game?
It is not.
The story of this could be so many games. Like when you were explaining at the start, I'm like, "Is this God Eater?" And I was like, "No."
I thought it was Overwatch.
I thought it was Azura's Wrath at one point.
Oh my god.
No, Azura's Wrath would definitely start at the beginning of time.
Yeah.
No, but it was more like the generals and stuff, and I was like, "What?"
Is it a first-person shooter?
It is not a first-person shooter.
So
for the first time.
For the first time in a game that is a first-person game?
It is not a strategy game.
It's gonna be Honey Pop or something.
Is it like a first-person game in general?
No, it is not first-person.
So, is it top-down?
It is not top-down.
Dear
God. Is it isometric?
Is it a racing game?
Someone turned into a bloody robot there.
Is it a fighting game?
Yes, it is a fighting game.
Oh, it's gonna be Blaze Blue or something. God damn it!
There you go. John got it. It is Blaze Blue. This is specifically
that brings you to 2 points.
Yeah.
Look, Cole, you bring them in, I knock them down. That's how we do this.
I mean, I was gonna say Guilty Gear to be fair, so he had it on me.
Blaze Blue. That's like the baseline. It gets even more complex. I decided not to because I did not want to write like multiple 1,000-word essay explaining its story.
We're not doing a Blaze. We'll do that as a special episode.
Funny story. The developer wanted to make an RPG, but instead they had to make a fighting game. I think because originally Street Fighter was coming out.
Yeah.
To compete with it, and they lost out to Guilty Gear. So it's an RPG story in a fighting game.
Is this Continuum Shift or what one is this based on?
Yes, this is Continuum Shift. The name of the game, Continuum Shift, is like the event that happens and they break the time loop.
Oh, okay.
A lot of fighting games do too many time loop stories, I think.
It's so funny.
That's our main selling point, though. Like the big cat, like big stories.
Yeah.
Fuck. Johnny's gonna get all these.
No.
What's mine? I'm not gonna lie.
Game number 2.
Okay. Go ahead.
We're starting off with Planet Earth is in the process of being merged with another realm. And through this realm, monsters and demons start to appear on the Earth.
Right.
These monsters try to take over the world and fight each other doing it. Later, an alien overlord returns to the Earth after being away for many years and begins to reconquer the world with an army of robots. But due to the disturbances, a mighty being from the realm the Earth is being merged into decides that the only way to save the realm is to take control of it by force. He does this by capturing monsters and using their souls to remake the realm so that he can have a full control of both humanity and the supernatural. That is game plot number 2.
Is that the whole plot? Oh, right. That's a short one.
Is it Doom?
It is not.
Thought it might have been Doom.
I'm assuming it's another fighting game.
Yes, it is another fighting game.
Guilty Gear?
I'm talking robots.
No and no.
I don't know a lot of fighting games.
So I'll make it easier. The monsters that invade are monsters from fiction.
Fiction.
Like Dracula and shit.
Is it
Did Lovecraft make a fighting game?
Darkstalkers?
This is the plot of Darkstalkers.
Darkstalkers, yeah.
Yes!
It makes sense. It makes sense for... I didn't know that's the story on it too.
First game is the monsters fighting each other. Second game is the alien overlord, and the third game is the otherworldly, like the otherworldly being.
Yeah.
That makes sense on Morgana and stuff then, yeah.
Yeah.
Darkstalkers is elite.
Right. William?
Yeah?
You're all at 2 points each for the segment now.
Ooh.
What was my second one?
Yep. You got the two where the first episode I guessed them both, but after you already knew what they were.
No, did you get both of them in the first episode?
No, you got...
No, I'm one. You two are on two, because Johnny get killed. I get the zombies, but Johnny get...
Yeah.
No, I got
Johnny's
on three. I'm on 3, baby.
Johnny's on 3, you're on 2, I'm on 1.
3, 2, 1 right now?
The guy who knows nothing about games is getting them all.
You spend the most time with him?
Yeah, I feel like you just stopped me.
Yeah. No, I'm on your Steam library every week, just checking.
I know you are.
So, just call me out there, guys. Yeah, completely did the math wrong.
I mean, you're still second place.
Yeah, you still got 2 points.
At least you're not last.
Yeah, no, that is fair.
To be fair, I got the most complicated one.
True.
Blaze Blue is complicated.
Hard Zombies is another level. Alright.
Oh, yeah, fair.
I very much appreciate, though, this segment, because I'm getting better at it. I will move us on, though, until our next segment. You guys are going to love this one.
The worst section.
Oh, here we go.
Kristen's hot takes. And we have got a higher one.
Actually,
what did I tell you I was going to talk about this episode?
So we are on the impression that you're going to talk about QuickTime events.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to throw a QuickTime event your way, and you're going to feel it.
Okay.
You asked me what my favorite game of all time is, and I'm about to tell you. The Last of Us Part 2 is the best video game ever made.
No, are we talking about the entire game here?
Hold on, let him present this case.
The entire game.
Let him present this case.
This game is the best video game I have ever played. Right? This is like truly the most inspirational video game, a work of art I have ever played. Like the things that it makes me feel, how it makes me perceive the whole thing of video games changed when I played this game.
Okay.
And yes, Onimusha is up there, to be honest, for different reasons, to be entirely. But both reasons I think are valid. I know that you guys have strong feelings of The Last of Us Part 2. I know you may like it. You know, you may think it's good, and probably think I'd be a bit hyperbolic. But come on, man. Let's see what you got.
I'll be honest. I prefer the first game to the second one. I'll be honest with that.
What reasons why?
I don't know. I just feel like I'm quite weird about this. I think the game works with a smaller cast. Like there's the isolation of Joel and Ellie in the first one. You get like wee cameos from like Marlene and all that, and what was her name, Tess, coming in and coming out, but they never stick around. It's just these two. And I would have loved to see that with the second one, but I know they couldn't do that, which is why I just have to stick to my guns and say I prefer the first one, because I love how they keep it consistent.
See, I'd argue
also,
against that.
We just said before, sorry, we continue. All spoilers.
I'm so sorry. Oh, no.
I'll argue that point.
I feel like there's a big spoiler that people don't like.
I personally think that the game brought the two of them a lot closer from my perspective, but I'm going to take 2 steps back from this hot take because I don't think I could. I genuinely don't think I could convince you on this one. So I'm leaving it to the other.
That's the point, Tristan's hot takes.
I win this.
I have not played any of the games, and I've slogged through the video he gave us last time. So
yeah, so you need to bring guns out. You give me the main reasons why you think The Last of Us 2 is a bad game or poor game.
Well, I feel like the biggest one that I know from the outside. Again, major spoilers. They killed Joel very early on, I believe.
Yeah, like that was the main. That was the main selling point of it all.
And then, the story as to why I've heard through the group, you can back it up. I've heard the reasoning is very poor, and the character that does it, nobody really likes.
For him, why he had to die?
Just the fact his death and stuff. Yeah.
Right. So I disagree with that because it makes a lot of sense. Although the way they done the timeline, I don't think was the best. But I would say half the game is really good. The other half, which is what William said, is done by that other character, which for me personally, Abby, I don't think she's engaging in the least. I don't know, that's just my take on this one.
What I would say is the thing is with The Last of Us 2, Joel gets killed, right? He gets killed brutally, gets killed quickly. We don't get this big ceremony of this character we all love, but he's an asshole.
Yeah.
That he did the wrong thing for the right reasons.
Yeah.
In the first game, right? For us to think that they were going to do a sequel and frickin' fair play Naughty Dog because other games would play it safe.
Yeah.
But,
they were quite bold, and I mean this one.
Yeah, they swung for the fences for this one.
Oh.
And they went, people are going to hate it, but we're looking to tell this story, and this story is the cycle of revenge. Where we would all be content, I remember at the time, and I said to myself, I'm happy with The Last of Us just being a solo game, no sequel. I like the ending, it's nice, it's an ending, we got it. There's that look Ellie gives at the end that makes you go, well, maybe a sequel might work, but only if it's told right. We time jump. The biggest arguments I hear about The Last of Us 2 is, it's so... Joel wouldn't do that. Joel wouldn't trust some stranger, right? Joel wouldn't have trusted a stranger. There's been 5 years he's been in a community. He's been living with a daughter that he loves. He has grown attached to her. He's grown soft in the ways that he should. Going more compassionate. He cares about a lot more people than just him and Ellie. And Joel that we see in The Last of Us 2, people point to the scene where he saves Abby from the horde of infected in the snow.
I was going to talk about this, yeah.
That is a Joel who has had 5 years of love and peace of mind from someone who we've seen the first Last of Us, who absolutely, if the first part, Joel in part 1 would have shot Abby probably sooner than he would have helped her.
Yeah.
That is a man who has been through 20 years of shit and done awful things. And what The Last of Us Part 2 does is tells the story of what happens if we actually have to face our consequences. What happens if our actions are actually put in front of us and we have to deal with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The thing is, it's I agree with that. It's the breaking down of a man essentially into a better man, but at the same time, Joel's not a good man. He is a man that has to do given the situation he's in.
He's owned by his own moral code, which is quite flawed.
I just think that they did take a risk, and they took a risk. I think they executed it well. The revenge arc was pretty good. I just don't think that the Abby segments were that strong.
Abby just felt like padding, yeah.
I feel like the biggest issue. Well, hold on. I just want to explain this bit a wee bit more. So we'll bring it back to the scene you brought in. My qualms with that isn't really that Joel saved her. I understood that. I actually understood that from your point before you even said it. Like he is like Joel has been softened tremendously. That's not a bad thing. Like he's been through 20 years of shit. He went from being a runner to actually settling down, which is really good in my opinion from where he came. But I feel like after him and Joel saving her for no reason at all, you play that section and then it just shit hits the fan so quickly. I feel like that could have been done a bit better. Not tremendously better, but I feel like from the Abby perspective, it wasn't the best because you're going from what they saved her for no reason, pivoting to straight to, I believe it was straight after that, Joel got killed. I could be wrong, it's been a while.
Yeah, no, you're right. What I'm gonna say is I'm gonna defend both in one segment with the Abby segments and this issue with Abby in this scene. So what we see from Joel and Ellie is Joel teaching her proper values and stuff that he holds dear, and that he's trying to better her this world. What Joel also did was take away Abby's dad, who could have done that for her. Abby was the same age, I think a couple of years older than Ellie when her dad got killed. She is now just filled with anger, hate, and revenge, with no one to guide her on it. She just knows, I'm going to kill Joel Miller. That's it. That's my. Once I do that, my mind will be at peace. She thinks that's just right. And that's why I think Naughty Dog's created such a fascinating character, where this character is basically what happens if Ellie had lost Joel, which they go into. And the whole thing with, so you're saying about, obviously Joel rescued her. It wasn't for no reason. He saw someone in need. He was with his brother, the softened. He rescued her. He was doing the right thing, what he thought. Right? Maybe he saw, this is what I feel like the intention was, saw a bit of Ellie in her. Right? And obviously, he's lost plenty of daughters before. That's just how it is for him. And he comes to go into it. From Abby's point of view, yes, it happens very quickly, but she is like, I have got Joel Miller here. I won't get this opportunity again. They've been searching for him for 5 years. You know what I mean? They're like, right, shit. She is, I would imagine that character, the whole thing they're trying to do is like, she's in a panic, let's do this, let's get this fucking done. So they shoot Joel, they tie him up. Yeah, she's freaking enjoying it. Then Owen comes up and goes, right, that is enough. You had your moment, end this now. And that's when Joel gets killed. So then we play as Ellie. Now we're in that position that Abby was in 5 years ago. We're angry. We're like, fuck this bitch. Basically, I feel like Naughty Dog was trying to make us feel like each of the characters at the point in time. We didn't give a shit that we killed that doctor in the first game. We were like, there's Ellie on the table. I'm fucking getting her. But now we're faced with the consequences of the same situation. We're the kid on the table. That way. And you play for his Abby, and you're so consumed with revenge, but she has been to the point where she has done her revenge, she's got her revenge, and now she's living with it. And yeah, she's standoffish to people, but you can see as you play more and more in her section that she is starting to regret what she did. But she doesn't feel any better. So at the end of the game, when she shoots Tommy, she kills Jesse, she is just like, she is past the point of what you think is dreaming. Lev is her kind of the only thing keeping her grounded. I love that character so bloody much, Lev.
I feel like they just wanted to recreate the relationship between Joel and Ellie by making it Abby and Lev, which was good, but
because that's the point. It's the duality.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the duality. It's that point. It's supposed to be right. So Abby got her revenge. Now she has to take care of someone. Now she is in charge of someone. Someone who's just murdered. It was the same. What the thing is, I think a lot of people don't like to see or don't want to see, is that Abby is basically the Joel in part 2. A rough person that gets built down, and I love that duality. But when you see Abby, I don't know about you guys, but I felt awful for her when you see her at the end of the game, and she is tied up in the pole, and you just all her muscles are completely gone. And I was like, who the hell is that? And then I thought to myself when I was playing, I was like, that is what revenge got her. I did pull and lost everything. And those memories of Joel, once Abby and her fighting in the water, and the grittiness and the production value and everything is so freaking amazing about that, I think. And, people go, oh, why did she let her live? Because if Ellie had continued, she'd lost Nina at that point, she'd lost the baby, Jesse, and all that, she'd lost so much.
She was just
like killing you would mean nothing to me now. Especially if she got her fingers bit off, she can't even play guitar, the one thing Joel taught her to leave her with.
And
I just think story-wise, the game tells a beautiful story. And we were talking earlier, The Last of Us Part 3 apparently is in pre-production. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm excited to see it. I hope they swing for it again. I hope they go wild. The other thing I don't want to talk about just narrative for the game. The gameplay is fantastic.
Oh yeah, the gameplay is absolutely insane.
I know issues.
Survival mode is so good. I think it all just drives down to the narrative people have issues with.
Yeah, well, I just think that I just want to highlight the gameplay for a bit and say, like, the enemy AI is fantastic. The intensity, the brutality. I feel like I am, like...
Yeah.
I remember the first time I snuck up on a person, stabbed them, and they were gurgling blood. I was like, oh, shit. And they call out each other's names and stuff when the characters are missing. It just those little touches they gave it to you, and the mobility of... I feel like the strength of Abby, I feel like going and punching a couple of people, and they finally implemented, which they did kind of in the Last of Us DLC, implemented the fact that soldiers and enemies and the infected all be in the same area, and you have to kind of navigate that.
Yeah.
And it also has one of the best, most terrifying segments I've ever experienced in a game of the underground lab and that
the Rat King
abomination.
That was insane.
That was amazing, and it just the game I think is just on the soundtrack.
See the thing with like the narrative, like just thinking back to it, because actually I forgot to say this, is like it's not even like the duality thing you pointed out, which they did do that well. I think that they've done like the whole full circle thing really well. I think it done one thing that we hadn't really seen, was that NPCs are people in that world, and we actually seen the consequences of us technically at the time killing a no-namer, because he was a no-namer at the time, like.
Yeah.
And that was what was the very interesting part about it, like, yeah.
You know what I felt was...
To give the game credit... Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, there was one part in the game that I remember from... I haven't played it, I watched people play it the entire way through. There was a section at the start of the game where basically after Joel's killed and it's Dina and Ellie travelling to... Is it Seattle it's in, yeah?
Yeah.
They go towards Seattle and basically they're trying to think about all the people that could have, like, who could be after them. Because at their point, they wouldn't know, but it also has you thinking of as characters like, oh, was it those guys we killed in the museum all the way back? It's like, oh, fuck, I remember them. I remember that they slaughtered all of them. I started thinking, like, could all of these characters come back? Could all of them be killers? Like, that was a good part of the game. Like, I can agree with that. The narrative just has you thinking about all the things you've done as a character and how it's impacted the characters now.
Thing too, like the people getting so angry about Joel's death is because they love the characters. What they all created characters, they created people. We talk about them like they're real people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the moments of like character development in the Last of Us, like when Ellie realizes the things she's done, how far she's went, but also like the subtler moments. Like I've never heard a more beautiful version of "Take on Me" in my entire life. And that is optional, by the way. That thing you don't have to actually do that. You can find it. That's an optional bit.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just stuff like that there. I just think is fantastic. That's my closing thoughts on it.
I was gonna say this, and I don't know. This is my opinion on it, but I don't know if anyone else would agree with it. I feel like they should have made Last of Us 2 the final game of the IP and made that final fight against Abby optional. Not optional, but like you can choose whether or not as Ellie you want to finish the kill. The game forces you to go out that path of vengeance, where if you're talking about how there's this endless cycle of one character killing another character, their entire crew gets killed, which kills the entire other crew. It's just bloodshed after bloodshed. You should be given a choice. Do I want to spare this person?
I don't agree with that for basically one simple reason. If you're playing Ellie, you're not playing a character you've created. It's her choice, not yours.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
We're playing her story.
Yeah, we're playing her story. We're not playing a story our avatar's doing. Which it would be great in a game like, you know, where you created your character and you've come up with your story. You've thought about, you know, like we like the role play in those games, like Bethesda games and stuff like that. But this is Ellie's story. We are along for the journey. We may fucking suck.
But it would have been good to show like the actual character growth as a character. That's my key point on it. Whereas not
I feel like
as a player.
They show it as the player for us being exhausted by the end. We're tired. Like you are tired of that game at the end, the violence of it. You're like, oh my god. And then and the thing that The Last of Us does so well, it shows that scene that will forever live in my brain to the day I die or get dementia or whatever. And it's the scene where it goes back the night before Joel dies. He's sitting having a coffee on his porch, playing the guitar. Ellie comes up and it discusses the events of The Last of Us 1, basically.
Yeah.
Joel turns around to her and goes, if I had to do it all again, I would do the exact same thing. Because he's like, I would save you no matter what. And, you know, me being a father, that obviously is going to be impactful for me personally. And I have not played The Last of Us 1 or 2 since becoming a father, and I'm going to do it very soon again. And I think it'll actually just increase the love and admiration I have for that game. At the end of the day, it is a story about a father and daughter.
That's why I think that's why I could never change. I know for a fact I couldn't change your mind on this. This is why I sort of wanted to take
it's too
stand out. You know,
too personal, I suppose, in a certain sense. And I feel like I do have strong points about stuff, but I feel like at the end of the day, this is Kristen's hot takes, and it ain't never going to be a hot take how much I love my daughter.
I think like at the end of the day, even with the wee bobbers and all aside, I think people's opinions on the story, I think they are granted because people don't really appreciate narrative a lot. I find sometimes, especially with Naughty Dog titles.
Video games in general, I'd say.
Yeah, like a lot of zombie games are like they didn't really hit it home with their story. People just like the concept of zombie survival, and I think that the fact that Last of Us took the more narrative approach was quite good.
Yeah, I like Days Gone's story too, just because of video games.
Yeah, but I think that's why. It's like I don't mind the game. Like I really like Last of Us 2. It's why it's so hard for me to try and sway your mind on this. But for me that year specifically, why I didn't think it deserved Game of the Year was because this is so kind of weird after my opinion on remakes and stuff last podcast. I thought Final Fantasy VII deserved Game of the Year that year.
I could Final Fantasy VII remake, fantastic game. Honestly, it is. It's beautiful. I get what you mean.
Because it wasn't the same game.
Yeah.
It was a new game, but I can see why, and like for me,
it's
like
still built off the foundations, which is probably the key thing. Like it's not a new story, but that brings in new elements, but it's still the same story, just revised.
Do you know what? It's actually changed the story in it as well, which is funny.
Yeah,
they changed elements of that.
I think both of those games pushed the video game medium brilliantly.
Big time that year, along with Ghost of Tsushima. That was a big year that year.
That was the swan. Yeah, that game that year.
With Battle of Titans,
Cyberpunk and all came out. You know, and freaking COVID and all that there or whatever. I've just very obviously, like you said, you can't change my mind. I know, too. Like, I do see flaws in the game. For me, it is 6 out of 6. It's a masterpiece for all the reasons I've listed. Being a dad, all that there. It made me back at bloody guitar because I just wanted to learn something about that. And I'll be getting tattoos of The Last of Us, all that there. But yeah, it's an incredible game. And maybe next time I'll make the next Tristan's hot take a bit easier.
Yeah,
that's really hard.
This is it. Yeah, but I wanted to bring it up.
But I'll say this: can you understand the mindset of why people don't like the narrative?
I do, but I don't think you would like my opinion of why I can understand it.
If I got an understanding, I'll take it. When's a win? When's a win?
I think people are immature, and
exactly.
I think people are immature when it comes to video games storytelling and pushing boundaries.
It's kids things, Tristan. You can't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really think people need to. I think people have a sense of entitlement to anything nowadays, especially media and entertainment that they feel that represents them fully. You know, people like with their personalities revolved around that thing.
Yeah.
When I think the healthier thing to do is allow those things that mean something to you impact you in little ways. I think people sense of possession is too much nowadays.
I think it's good that people get so connected to characters, but there is a fine line where people are like, because if you made a character that people can really like symbolize with, like they have common ground with. For example, people are really pushed on Joel being this like great guy. They're looking past his flaws, but they still know he's a bad person, but they know why he does it for. But then they're sort of like, oh, well, you've killed the monster, you've ruined my perfect image of Joel living until he's like 145 and he's this ethereal being.
Like, let's be honest, in any of us, for me, if I was in the same situation, I would do what he done.
Oh yeah.
As fucked as it is, it's still his child.
It's a surrogate child to you. You are basically their father, and you've grown with them so much that you're like, I would die. I would put myself on that table before I would let anything happen to her.
Like people that say,
we all experience that in our own ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like you put yourself in that shoe. Like you're not going to think logically when especially when you have a child. Yeah. Like you know that logic goes out the window. So people using that argument, I think, are really stupid. But again, like people who are inexperienced in life don't know the weight of their words at times, so it is what it is.
No.
Yeah.
And I think escapism is fine until you start sending death threats to developers.
Oh no, that's like way above the line. Like that's their story, their narrative.
At the end of the day, I think Last of Us is a story about love trumping logic. So I do. And just love for little things in life. But yeah, that is another I would say very hot take.
Very spicy.
Very, 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 very
spicy.
Very tough one.
Very spicy.
Oh, caliente.
Yeah. That'll bring us into the game club.
Yeah.
So this month is interesting. Right, so the game that we're doing this month, Jonathan, it is your pick, so would you like to announce the game?
Well, I'm going to say it is our pick because... Oh, what was it originally? I'm trying to remember. No, we had chosen a game. I'll have to go back later on and figure out what it was, but basically me and you were sitting in our university room doing work. It was for like a deadline on a game jam where it's like, oh, there's this really cool game coming out. And I saw it, and I was in love with it, and you were like, we need to put this on the game club list, we need to actually do this now. And that game was Slave Zero X, which released, I'm going to say just over a month. Is it over a month?
February? At least like mid to late February.
February 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just over a month.
And actually, did you guys ever figure out, has anyone actually got the platinum yet on PS?
I am in the middle of checking that now. Hold up, wait a minute.
We'll get back to that. We'll get back
none.
to that.
Still
none?
Yeah, the game's busted. It wouldn't even load. Right, so just to say this now, it would not load the trophies for me on my account. I stopped playing.
It was such a satisfying experience.
I was loving it. And then I kept going in. It wouldn't even load trophies. I was like, I'm done with you.
You played it for an hour, and you were spending call. We were playing it. It's like, oh, this is so cool. And then you're like, the trophies aren't popping up. Yeah. I'm done. You put the game down. I was like, oh no.
I will say this. There is one person on the leaderboards right now that's one trophy off.
Does it say what trophy?
Johnny, it's trophy.
What?
Bomb rope lamp oil, you got it. No one knows how to get it.
I think I got that one. It's shop to drop dead or something.
No, getting into knives. Called. So that you got our finest customer. But there's one more. It has to be the doing with the shop. But it's a reference to like a really old like Zelda.
The CGI Zelda games, yeah.
Yeah. So it's the only achievement that no one's gotten. So this guy's got all the S ranks in the levels. He's done the speed run. He's done all the combo trophies. So that is the last one, and there's no guides for it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Now you see, me and William, on the other hand, we play games now for enjoyment. We play them to complete them, and we put them down. Well, these two are just, they need that platinum. They
give up too easily.
Yeah.
More like never started to begin with.
Yeah, and like, you didn't even play it. I'm ashamed. At least I played Metal Hellsinger.
I'm in a slump!
At least I played Metal Hellsinger. I hated it, but I played it.
4 hours I platinumed that shit. It was amazing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, but I was gonna say it took about, well, it took for me about 7 or 8 hours. Well, do you know how
to do it? I was like second last stage at 5 hours. Like, wow, I'm going to be much faster yet. It took me 7, 8 hours.
So I'm gonna say me and Will will end up talking about the game, and then we'll talk about something later on that'll come up.
And we're also gonna talk about spoilers for the game.
Yeah, so spoilers, you haven't played it.
All spoilers ahead.
Yeah.
Basically, I think the game was really good up until some points about it. Like, the soundtrack is a banger.
Yeah, I'm mixed on the game, just entirely.
Like, I'm gonna
say...
the
whole soundtrack, it's fucking awesome.
Yeah, like, the soundtrack is insane. I think, coming from, like, UI, like, just stuck with me. Like, the fact is, you have your main character. It's like a beating heart, like the shape of a beating heart coming off the HUD. All the attacks just feel so smooth when you do them. And there's just, it's just hard to describe, but there's so much for the game.
In terms of, like... Oh, yeah, sorry.
No, go on. I want to hear what you want to say about it as well.
I really enjoyed the... Not the soundtrack, but, like, the visuals, especially, like... I really enjoyed the visuals later on. Well, except for the second last level, I thought it was kind of plain, but... Overall, I enjoyed the visuals, like, especially the laboratory. I thought it was really cool. I like the scent. And... I also like the design and stuff. I like that kind of story as well in games. It was a very simple story, but it did it well.
I don't know. I just felt like in some parts I couldn't really connect because basically after every boss there was a cutscene. I think it was after every boss, but basically it was between your character and I'm gonna say it was like
your rival.
Your rival / love interest / yada yada.
Oh no, yeah, it's definitely love interest because
Yeah, it's like, I want to be with you.
No, at the very end of the second last boss when you fight him, he says, I love you, so...
Yeah, because basically the entire gimmick of the game is you're both trained to become something called the Guardian, which is like the highest class. I think it's meant to... Their purpose
pretty much, your purpose is to take down the main villain, pretty much.
Which is called the Sovcom, which is like the ruler of all, but they're like being seen as some sort of deity or a god.
Yeah.
So your character, not being chosen, steals what they call the Slave Zero X suit, which enhances your body and makes you into, like, it basically boosts your attacks and gives you, like, all its power.
Yeah.
But you're seen as, like, a rebel unit. So basically you're 2 rebels going through the city, going against your master.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I loved the first fight in that game against the Iron General. That was
Iron General is one of the best bosses in that game.
I did that fight.
He was just well done, well made. Like, he had very clear parry and attack windows.
Yeah.
He had strong attacks that were easily avoided. If he did like his charge attack, you could react. If you get behind him and charge attack, you can punish him. Which one of the other bosses you can't do, which we'll discuss later.
Do we want to talk about the second boss though? I
hated the worst boss in the game.
I swear to God, I still don't know how you fight that thing. It's RNG.
The second boss is the whole concept that they're a sniper, but the boss is a flying gun user.
Yeah,
which is already not fun. But you can't actually predict a lot of the attacks because they come out so fast, and there's no muzzle or anything for you to like see a parry.
They'll go from like a shotgun blast into a spinning barrage into a laser cannon, which laser cannon wasn't too bad. That was like the worst attack. Kind of attack.
Well, yeah, but you couldn't. If you get behind them, the laser cannon, you couldn't attack back. They're just
you had to wait till they were done, and their iframes were just right after iframes. Boom, next attack, and you're basically getting shot into the face.
The worst attack, in my opinion, were the SMGs because the hitboxes were terrible.
Yeah,
the hitbox is stretched. The hitbox is stretched to behind the boss. So even if you get behind them, you still get hit by the attack because of the hitboxes.
Yeah. And then they brought in the third boss, which was basically just a run section.
Yeah, the third boss, meh. Fourth boss is alright.
I think the fourth boss came off too much as like, you know, like the final boss in Doom. I think that's we were talking in call. I started as the fourth boss in Doom.
It was alright. It was like a big giant. The whole gimmick had to wait to beat out his attacks and then attack his hands.
I'll be honest, I can't remember the fifth boss. Like the
fifth
character
boss.
It was more like a narrative section, but that was about it, really.
Is it really bad that everything you guys are saying makes me want to play more?
Yeah. I want to play it.
Yeah, I have a problem.
Well, then the fifth boss.
The
fifth boss is the palace stage, right?
Yeah.
Worst stage in the game.
Oh, absolutely.
It's just all blue and gold. It looks kind of ugly.
That sounds amazing.
But very repetitive. There are some cool scenes, but like one major issue I have with the combat is the knockback in the game. Every move is knockback, and you'll get knocked around, but you have 0 recovery time. You have a very long recovery window, but you can't really do anything during it. So there are times where if you get hit, and there's a lot of enemies have grabs, which combo into other enemy grabs. So there are times in the game where you get grabbed once and full health, and you just have to be like, well, I'm going to die here because no matter what I do, because I messed up the parry, I die.
You see the last combat section? That was the worst area for that coming through, because you had heavies, basically there's really like heavy units, and then there's like very speedy units.
Instead of like changing up, what they do is just add in the same enemies, but they have way too much health.
Yeah, and plus they just like they do improve the armor on them as well, and then they just give them bonus attacks, which are even worse than the original units.
Yeah, so like it becomes that they can just combo you to death, and not too much about it. And unless you dodge out of the way very quickly, you just lose. If you don't know they're coming, you will lose that fight and have to redo it.
Like, I genuinely think combat could have been revised in some way, because they gave you an upgrade system, but all the upgrades did was like fill your. You get more health. You get more health. To get more charge.
It's not like Devil May Cry. You get extra moves you can unlock.
I think that's like a secret technique, but I never found it.
I found it. It was just a combo move you can do.
Oh, okay. But like that's where they could, but that's where like they put so much. They also made like an entire customization screen. You had to buy every single customization if you want to use them. I feel like that could be replaced like a combo list instead.
Because that would make
combat so much more fun.
Yeah. There's no combo list whatsoever.
No, that's the thing. If it's a fighter game like that, they could have like enhanced combat so much by just adding that in.
Because I came off just playing another 2D fighter game. Speaking of a game of nice there, Blaze Blue Entropy Effect, which is an amazing 2D side-scroller fighter, being up fighter. It does the combat way better, in my opinion, way more smoother. Enemies are a lot more fun to fight. It rarely feels like it's the game's fault for hitbox or anything. It feels like if I mess up, it's my fault in that game, in comparison to Slave Zero.
Aye. And then going into, I'm going to say we've already gone into spoilers, but major spoilers. The last two bosses.
Oh.
Just big fat
Well, one of them, the first phase of that second boss is fine. You just have to learn the parry windows, try not to get grabbed. Yeah. It's whenever they add the lightning. So he will do a teleport, and if he teleports the second phase, there's lightning strikes behind him.
And
this lightning will hit you, and you'll get knocked into the air. He sometimes, if you're unlucky, he'll just spam the teleport, and you'll just be stun locked and lose the fight.
You'll be like in the air for a full 78 seconds, and basically 80% of your health
you set down the controller, and you're like, okay, this fight's lost. I have to redo it now.
That's where it comes into like I was telling you, the fight just basically became pure RNG. Like if
whenever I beat
it sucks.
Whenever I beat the boss, I didn't feel like I learned a skill or I got better at dodging this move. I just felt like no, I got lucky because I didn't do these attacks.
Like that ruined that like cutscene between you and the rival character for me, because I was like, I'm still annoyed about this boss fight.
And then he got a grab move when in lightning form. He will grab, and then whenever you get launched, he will teleport into a lightning, which perfectly lines into another grab. And you can just get unlucky, and then that's another game over for the boss.
Yeah.
Because you're unlucky.
Doesn't that sound like a perfect way, a really annoying final boss, right? Doesn't it? No! There's another boss right after, which is Big Doom Monster Part 2.
The first phase of that boss I like. I thought it was decent. You had to dodge the lasers and hit him in midair. It was fun.
But it doesn't tell you any way that you're meant to be doing that, because the hitbox
No. In the first phase I'm talking about, in the palace.
In the palace. Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
That first.
I like
boss,
that one.
I thought that was fine. It was tough.
The attacks were weak, but it was also just enduring.
It was tough, but like you could definitely dodge the attacks. You can realize what you did wrong. It's the second version of that boss.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about there. The second one, where the big Doom monster part 2 is real.
So it's the same as the fourth boss, but you don't get as much feedback whenever you hit them.
Yeah.
And for some reason, after 2 minutes, maybe your character will just die.
Yeah.
And you lose.
Well,
but the game makes no indication that the boss is building up an attack or like there's some kind of timer behind it. It's just
actually
you lose.
It's really misleading about that because I told you this when I finished the section. I thought the game was telling you, oh, you have to wait out the boss while someone's doing something in the background. I
thought it was a specific move that had the dodge, and then it happened to me again because I was too slow. So I was very confused.
Yeah. But that should also be really easy to show if it's like such a big target that
like,
you can actually
there's no like, oh, he's building up an ultimate attack, or there's no character that says you have to beat this in this amount of time or else you'll die.
Like they have an active timer system because they've used it before. So why
not? They could have had a timer. Like there's so many ways, but no, you just insta lose if you're not fast enough and you don't know why.
Like, maybe it was just release constraints. Maybe,
but it would have been like a 5 out of 6 for me.
I think some patches. Do you think some patches would fix some of these issues? Do you think they could?
Yeah, I feel like the patches could fix the knockback you take. Yeah. They could fix boss patterns so they use more dynamic moves.
Enemy swords to get big changes.
And then a patch that either adds a timer or something to show that you have to beat this final boss in this amount of time.
And even more like showing like an actual indicator for it, like the hits and all that.
Or like
Jonathan, you said it was a 5 out of 6.
I was going to say it'd be a 5 out of 6, but because of that last half of the game, it went down like a 2.
Yeah, I would tell you on it.
Whoa.
Yeah,
we're using a Tristram score. Using a Tristram score system as a 2 out of 6.
Tristram score system is 2 out of 6, which I believe is okay.
Yeah, if the audience would like to know what 6 out of 6 means, you'll have to find out. No matter what.
Stop teasing people!
Last of Us 2 is a 5 out of 6. You don't even want to know what a 6 out of 6 looks like.
No, wasn't it Last of Us 2?
Last out of 2 is a 6 out of 6.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a 2.
Onimusha is a 6 out of 6.
Like, there's good things, but like the final few, like it drops drastically, so it's just a 2 out of 6.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's a stunning game, stunning visuals, stunning soundtrack. Other than that, the gameplay will hold the most.
It's okay.
Oh, it sounds like the game is complex. It has some great.
It does have the depth,
creativity. Yeah,
it can be good. They just.
I'm excited. I'm excited to play it. I'm going to get the physical version later in the year.
Oh la la.
So the thing I alluded to earlier was we have announcements. We were thinking about how the punishment system should work, and we came up with a very funny and permanent solution. So, usually with the punishment, the person is given 3 months, 3 episodes to beat, complete said punishment.
Yeah.
However, we have decided that we were thinking, someone made the suggestion, we had thought of it, where, what's the punishment if you don't do the punishment?
Yeah.
We're like, well, we'll have to make it pretty bad. Yeah. So the punishment is the person will choose a tattoo. Now, the person getting punished should work. The tattoo is not going to be something.
Penis.
Disrespectful.
We have rules too.
And we have a bunch of penises. Yeah.
It's not going to be like under 100 quid or something.
No jackass.
Yeah, we put in.
No nudity, insults, stuff like that. If you can show your parents and they'd be like, fine.
Like, I'm just gonna roll up my sleeve one day and show my giant picture of Tristan's face on my shoulder.
Yeah, pretty much.
This alludes to. So we'll start off with William's thing. So William asked me, or punished me to play on the first episode. Play Sly Cooper trilogy. I'm not doing it, right? I know I've got a month left and I could. And they aren't. What do you call it? That long of games. They're not hard whatsoever. I could do it in a week. I could beat both. I could do it in a freaking day, to be honest. Right? I'm not. Right? I would rather get a tattoo from William. I would rather get a tattoo from William than play these shitty ass games. I want to make it clear. I would rather get something permanently on my body that William picked and play Sly Cooper. I love Sucker Punch, but what the fuck were you doing back then?
Yeah, I have so many options. You know, it can't be heinous, but I still have a few options. Like I put like Last of Us 2 is the worst game ever, or something like that.
Oh, right across the chest too.
Yeah.
I'm not. Well, Jesus, sorry. I don't know. I'm going to accept that one.
I have so many options.
But
There's a
once we
blacklist
do the thing, I'll say too. Once we do the tattoos, I will. I think for that episode, the tattoo's been completed on. I will change my profile picture on Discord to the tattoo.
Yeah.
Or do a post
they can
on
put on
social
like
media.
the Instagram feed, like
Yeah, the Instagrams, all the social medias will do all that. This bleeds into me not beating Slave Zero X. But
These
I
two
think we should
gentlemen have
first
not
do
played it,
Connell's. We should do Connell's punishment first because mine comes with some history, unfortunately.
I'm ready.
So,
okay, Jonathan, hit me.
What's Connell's punishment first?
Now you see, I was going to give you both the Matrix, aka red pill or blue pill. Now there's a red pill option which involves the both of you, or there's a blue pill option that involves one of you doing 2 games I've chosen. Now, are you going to red pill or are you going to blue pill? Should I do the
game or 2 games?
Ride or die, Tristan?
I want to do the game that you picked originally for me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, fuck
well,
it.
here's the thing.
He said it.
Nope, no, you have to play a thing. Play the thing.
So, previously, this is a quote from Tristan.
Right, you know what? Fuck it, yeah. No matter what, I'll beat it.
No matter what, he will beat it. No matter what it is.
So, gentlemen.
I did not hear it. It didn't play. I didn't hear
play
it.
No.
You made it the soundboard. You made it the
soundboard.
Yeah.
The audience has heard.
Hold on.
The audience can hear it.
If he's picked this, do I have to play it?
Well, here's the thing.
That'll be up to you. You can have the choice, I guess, right?
No. I mean, if you guys don't do this, I will give you an alternative. But I want to see your reactions to it. So the game I have chosen potentially for both of you to play is Diablo 2.
Resurrected.
The Resurrected.
You did lie.
We did.
They spent the last 2 days going at me like, oh, can you please tell me the game? Please tell me the game. And they were sitting on PSN profiles trying to figure out what the game was.
We didn't realize this at the time, but on second viewing, because we were genuine the first time, there was one multiplayer, just one multiplayer trophy.
Oh, it's a PvP one.
It is, you have to collect an item from dead players 20 times. That is all the PvP in that game. That is all the trophy.
The only ones who play Diablo 2 now are sweats.
But if you both do it.
Now, there is a blue pill option. You will be even more scummy, but there's no multiplayer options, and you can both complete them in a relatively short amount of time. Well, I'm gonna do a coin flip and assign them based on that. So let me go and grab a coin real quick.
Oh.
There is a coin in my room somewhere.
We got props now.
Like, so I give this guy a grade fist and he hands me Diablo 2. Fuck me.
You gave me Shin Megami Tensei on top of Resident Evil or Evil Within. You deserve this.
No, that was your fault for not beating the games.
No, this is your fault for not beating the games.
Yeah, this is karmic justice coming through.
I'll take it on the chin.
Okay, so who wants head, who wants tails?
Tristan, go pick it.
What I would say is that Diablo 2 can't be quanted.
Heads or
one
tails,
reason
Tristan?
only. You could not get the platinum in 3 months.
Heads or tails, Tristan?
Sure.
Oh, I'm saying you literally can't get the platinum in 3 months.
It only takes 1,000 hours, I think.
Yeah, it's
only
1,000.
You just have to get
Tristan, you have to quit your job, drop out of uni, but you might get it done.
So in order to do it, you have to get every single class max level in hardcore.
That is... So what I would say is I literally cannot do that in 3 months.
We can give you a year, maybe. Would you be down with that?
I would give you a year, but also I want to see the reaction to the blue pill, and I want to get this coin flipped. I have a coin in my hand, and I'm waiting for it.
Flip it.
It's
blue pill, red pill, go.
So, Connell gets Jump King. You get Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus.
Oh my god!
Boys, this is it. This is it.
Not Diablo then. Wolfenstein. No worries.
Take Jump King over Diablo. Let's go. No. I've been eyeing this boy up for a while. This is my excuse to take the challenge.
Also, William, can you play the audio clip of what will happen if I don't platinum Wolfenstein, the new Colossus, in 3 months?
Wait, which one are we talking about here? There's 2.
What are you on about?
I recorded a second one last night.
There is 2.
Was it the one we talked about today? No, sure. I remember you said, if you complete this. Okay, the tattoo. Okay, I don't think the thing I recorded would be appropriate for audiences.
Yeah, producers did not give me such a thing. I blame the higher ups.
Yeah. Look for the one that's
just play the audio for the tattoo, for God's sake.
Yeah, it'll come through your one, but we won't hear it.
Yeah.
If I fail to complete the game tonight that I've been punished with on the podcast, I will get damaged goods tattooed on my butt cheek.
Post.
The producer will be
fired. Amazing editor. Our amazing editor will help that for us.
Yeah.
Right, so that is the thing. That was a bit chaotic, to be honest. So let's make it clear. Connell's doing Jump King, and I'm doing Wolfenstein.
Yeah. And you both got 3 months on that.
I can do it.
Yeah. I was going to say, Diablo 2 is just impossible to do in 3 months.
Well, it could be a year.
No, I would take Jump King every month of the year over that. I'm not doing Diablo 2. I would rather play Fortnite, save the world than that shit.
That brings us to the end of... That brings us to the end of the Game Club. So, tune in next month for the next episode of Game Club, where I pick the game, and everybody will be punished, probably except for William.
Yay!
No, I'm beating it.
So,
yeah,
I'm making it on my bitch.
Let's move on to quizzes, quandaries, and quips. God, I love that fucking name. God! Proudest moment of my goddamn life. It's coming up with that name. So, the first email we've got in is by David Preston. Very tall and handsome man. And if he listens to this, which he probably will, I hope you're enjoying your day off. So, again, really enjoyed the second episode, and I can't wait for the third. Well, you're going to have to wait too much longer. My question is about Skyrim. And any Skyrim fans among you. What is your favourite character?
Well,
Sneak Archer, Mage, Warrior?
I just replayed Skyrim recently. Yeah, I did. I tried this playthrough to do a mage build, but every playthrough you have to do Stealth Archer.
True.
It's gotta be a Stealth Archer.
I don't.
I don't like the game.
I did enjoy the mage playthrough. It was fun, but like the temptation to be like, can I just join Dark Brotherhood, get these skills and this Stealth Archer for right now?
And Connell, you don't like the game, you said?
I played through it. I would say most of the NPCs, probably from either the Thieves Guild or the Dark Brotherhood, would be my favorite because they're like the only worthwhile quests in my eyes.
But it's your build.
Build. Strength double 2-handed, but Stealth Archers are
that's not
my heart.
I just went strength double. I just wanted to chop people in half with an axe.
Oh yeah, you just be a Nord. That's the way you do it.
No, I only played it once. I played for about 20 hours, and I think at one point I just dropped all my weapons and said, I'm just going to use Dragon Choice for the entire game. And I just dropped after an hour trying it. That was my experience with Skyrim, ladies and gentlemen.
I forgot. Skyrim's so good, man.
It is. It is very good.
It's a fun popcorn game, I call it. You just turn off your brain. I know David is a huge fan.
I feel like every year there's always this like time to play this game of Skyrim maybe for like a few hours.
Yeah.
Just
we always have to start a new run.
The nostalgia back from I remember the day. I was actually grounded when Skyrim came out, and I got ungrounded 4 days before Christmas because I got handed Skyrim. It's like, oh my god, it was finally for weeks or something like that. I think I was credited for like walking out of a French exam or something, like being a wee stupid 14-year-old at the time. The one thing I need to say, and I need to tell this story because it happened not too long ago, and it was quite funny. I was at David's house, and he was showing me ESO. He's a big fan. Was playing it. He brought me to his player home. We were then talking about, you playing with other people and stuff. And he was like, yeah, and all that there. And then he spawns a character, like just like an NPC that he could assign to his house. He unlocked an achievement right at that moment in the game. Like something like Room for Two, where he finally has someone in his house. And I just busted out laughing. That was the first time he had ever had anybody in his house before. He's played the game so much. And me and him, like, sitting on the couch, just slowly looked at each other and then busted out laughing. He was like, oh my. It was like, yeah, you definitely play this MMO alone. He's trying to get me and Jimmy to play it so badly. He's slowly tempting me, but that platinum is probably ridiculous, so it is. No, it's a great question. So was a freaking love Skyrim. We'll probably end up playing it this year at some point, I guess.
I've already done my Skyrim playthrough the year.
No, we have some
the annual play for it.
Yeah.
The next email that comes in from Bland98. What is the best science fiction series / movie of all time? So I think this can just be general books, TV shows, movies, your favorite. Start with Jonathan. What do you think?
Oh god, why do you start with me? Oh,
the one person who doesn't know
it. You know what? I did come prepared because we watched it the other night. It was one movie, and it was great. It was killing bugs. It was taking them out. Space fucking Starship Troopers. It was good. Yeah. It was so good.
Hell yeah. Would you like to know more?
Kick on it.
Huh?
Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more?
I'm doing my part.
The weekend in the back, I'm doing my back.
I have never seen the movie or read the book. I really do want to read the book.
I can't wait till we get to sit down and watch this.
It's such a good movie. So many levels.
Yeah. I wish I was invited, to watch it and stuff.
Don't.
So busy all the time?
I was just told I was getting kicked from the company
on
Sunday night.
That's ongoing. So
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, Tristan is now jobless. He's no longer part of the company. We're hijacking him.
It's going to be a three-man podcast from now on.
The ginger took over. It was inevitable.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
It's the next episode I will not be hosting, guys. Apologies.
He won't be in the episode.
So I'm about to. So I might as well just say some messed up shit right now.
Last straw.
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, Connell? Favorite science fiction series?
Me?
TV show. Yes.
Honestly, I think it's probably Predator 1.
One of my favorite movies of all
time. Between that or maybe
Chris Hansen's To Catch a Predator.
No, I was gonna say the old Judge Dredd, but whatever.
That's the old Judge Dredd.
The old Judge Dredd, yeah, I really.
That's just alone.
No, the bed. Have you seen the Carl Urban one?
The newer one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have. I like that.
It's a masterpiece.
But for me, because like even my horror movies, my favorite horror movies are like the stupid 90s ones. Like really older films are like
they're always the best.
Yeah, like Leprechaun and stuff. Like older films I sort of favor.
Best horror movie of all time though, Jacob Slaughter.
No Critters for me or Tremors.
Oh, I just love Jacob Slaughter. Critters is pretty good though.
Love Critters.
What about you, William? Favorite science fiction?
I feel like if you know me, like it's pretty obvious my answer. My favorite show of all time is Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Any sci-fi trope, anything you think of, probably originates from Doctor Who.
I will say the Daleks are probably one of my favorite.
And Doctor Who has perfected it. It's had a bad stint the past few years, but new season's coming out. Yep, new season's coming out next month, 2 months.
That's what you've been running for, like entirely.
Doctor Who's been things since the 1960s.
Oh my
god! It's alive and kicking.
The new series, because they had a massive hiatus, a lot of lore, but the new series started from 2005.
Okay. But still, as we're running for that long, it's kept such an audience, like.
Amazing. Just best show of all time.
That's fair, it's a good one. I personally would probably be Dune. I've yet to see part 2.
I've yet to see part 2, but I really want to.
He's yet to see it, but we all know he's been there and grabbed his popcorn bucket and he's been in that cinema 3 or 4 times.
If this was me...
Jonathan, I told you to keep that privately.
Oh!
I told you that in confidence in front of everybody.
We all know.
If this was me probably 10 years ago, I might have said Avatar.
Oh, fair enough.
I think.
Yeah, I like The Lost Airbender.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only seen the Avatar, or Lost Airbender movie with M. Night Shyamalan. Fantastic movie.
That's a very hot take.
I'm joking. I've never seen it.
Next month, hot takes.
Oh, I love the book series of Dune. I love it so much. I've reread them multiple times.
Is it as much as like a mind fuck as what people make it out to be?
Yeah. You have to. I read the first Dune 4 times before I liked it. It throws so much technical jargon, but it's like worth it. You know what I mean? It's like reading the Silmarillion backwards.
Okay.
So it's great. I actually have another series I'm going to start soon. I know it's science fiction. I heard it's fantastic. My sister bought me the 5th book in this series for Christmas, not knowing it was the 5th book, obviously. But it's called the Red Rising series. So I'm going to start that probably in a couple of weeks.
It sounds familiar. I'm thinking of Red Dwarf. Sorry.
Pierce Brown is the author. Apparently, it's a fantastic science fiction series. And then I've always wanted to read The Expanse and stuff like that. I know the TV show apparently is brilliant. I'm more in the fantasy myself, but I do like to dabble in. One of the most fascinating, one of the most science fiction worlds I think we need to appreciate is Mass Effect.
Oh yeah,
fantastic world.
It's so good.
Good.
Never
just wanted to bring up Mass Effect.
So good.
Oh, William, you should. It's really
good. I just couldn't get past the rover in the first game.
It's fixed in the Legendary Edition.
Yeah, I think I played like the original version of the game.
The second game is probably one of the best RPGs ever made.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
It's so good.
I really enjoyed it. I need to play 3 just now. That was a great question. Thank you. So next is from Tina Newbrook, who happens to be my mother. So she's wrote a lovely message, trying to be supportive, but no clue about the gaming world because she hasn't played games since Sonic. I'm hopeful that through your hard work and dedication, guys, it will all pay off and you'll come to realize your success and newfound intelligence that you have found. She also says, "Are we on a dope story? P.S. Your head, in fact, does not fit under a locked lavatory door in any airport. Good luck with the podcast, son."
Do you want to explain it, Tristan, or
please?
When I was younger, we were in the airport, and I was a big boy at the time. I think I was like 4 or 5, and I was like, I'm going to the toilet by myself. She was waiting in the airport. I went into the toilet. I didn't come out for a while, and she came into the bathroom, and my head was stuck underneath the cubicle door trying to get out. Because I apparently locked myself in there, couldn't get out, and then tried to climb underneath the cubicle door, but my head is massive. And still is.
How big of a head do you need to have at the age of 4?
I had a massive head, and thank God my daughter does not get my head. She has her mum's head, thank God. I got stuck, and they had to get security to get a brush and unlock the door, like over the hook, and So I thought they were gonna. I think they thought they were gonna take the door off at one point because my head was so big and got stuck and I couldn't move.
Like, you need to stop doing it. Like, we walked in a bunch of times. Your head stuck there. Like, I thought you stopped at 5, but no.
You know what? He never learned.
One day you'll get on again.
I have locked myself, and this is like all joking aside. Well, no, I suppose it is a bit of a joke. I have locked myself in too many bathrooms, and I mean as an adult. Like, there's been too many times. I remember one time going to the toilet in a shopping centre in Lisburn and breaking the lock by accident.
Hi.
It was weak, and I went to like lock the door, and I broke it, and I went in immediately a panic, and I ripped that door off the bloody handle to get out because I was like, I'm not dying in here.
Alright, Hulk.
It wasn't a strong door. Don't get me wrong. It was pretty weak. It was like must have been made of like half paper mache.
It was a Lisburn shopping mall after all.
Yeah, they don't have much.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, shout out to our Lisburn fans.
We know you want to get out as bad as we do.
David's actually originally from Lisburn, so it's quite funny.
I'm so glad that David got out and he's in Craigavon now, living the good life.
Yeah, he's living the best life. I don't live in Port.
Potato. They're like 2 clicks away from each other.
Jonathan, you live in the mountain range like the Unabomber, so just be careful.
Yeah, no, sorry, I'm living in the wilderness right now. I have to like kick over paper bags, make sure I don't get like a car bomb thrown at me.
His Wi-Fi's on a generator.
He's holding the antenna as we speak in his hand.
I have been running in and out for the last 2 hours, just kicking that thing to make sure it doesn't die on me.
So, this will bring us into our final question. And I just, oh my god, every time I talk on these things, my life gets a little bit more out there, how stupid I am. The last one is by Jamie Stewart, and he gave me a challenge on the last episode, Call of Duty. I have bought World of War, a bit of it. I will try my best. So, me back again with another challenge. Since Tristan already has a challenge, this is for the rest of you. And Jamie has made this quite good. So, the challenge is I want you 3 to either platinum or 100% No More Heroes 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard about the difficulty of this game.
I've heard the first one. I've never seen the third or second one.
Jamie has incentivized because of the difficulty. The first person to platinum or 100% will get a prize that he will personally buy, and he'll discuss with me what it should be. That person specifically.
Time to get on the grind.
He will personally, and Jamie is a man of his word. He will 100% buy whatever. He is ridiculous. So, he's all accept.
I have 3 cancer games to play. Why not? Let's go.
Welcome to my life. I now have 3.
Well, I now have 1, so I'm struggling as well, you know?
Oh, no, wait, we haven't done
that. So, these all have No More Heroes 3. But the first one will win the prize.
Okay,
so,
I like the sound of that.
Also, Jamie asks a question. If you could go back to a game or a game series that you'd love, but change or add something to it, what would it be and why? This can be anything from story to adding or taking away a game mechanic, something about a level that you didn't like, but it can literally be anything. So pick a game you love, a game you like, and then think of something that you might not want in it anymore.
I've got it.
Okay.
Go ahead, William.
So, my game's actually a pretty old game at this point. I don't know if anybody else played it. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
I have.
One of my favorite RPGs of all time. Sadly, because of how they wanted to release it before Half-Life 2, the ending 2 to 3 missions are pretty much unfinished. Although they have the story there, and it's still amazing, it's like you can tell the quality drops in the early ones. I'd love if they had the development time to actually fully finish that game. To make the final missions exactly in their vision. That would be the perfect game.
Yeah. That would be fucking awesome.
Yeah.
What about you, Connell? You said you had one?
Mine's sort of like a franchise thing for the Kingdom Hearts franchise. I personally would take out the gummy ship segments.
I love that.
It kind of got a bit better with 2, but I would say would be the best ones. But 1, it just they give you one of the trophies in the PS3 version is get all the gummy ship blueprints, which is all pre-built ships. But to literally do one of the missions, it's to get from the final area to the first area. So there's one route you take without taking damage, And to do that, you have to effectively build a ship with like 5 or 6 blocks, I think it is. And it's just so stupid. Personally, it would probably be 1. Either change it or take it out. The other ones aren't that bad, like aren't unbearable, but I would say 1. That would, like, 1's a really good game. I 100% that one a few times, but that would be the weakest section for me.
Yeah, I can see like especially in the game you enjoy and stuff that one section. Ours is quite similar, so it is. But, mine would be Bayonetta, and the only thing I would change is half the length of the Space Harrier part near the end of the game.
Yeah.
It's too long.
Fuck
me. That game's perfect. But yeah, that's really it for Bayonetta. Anything else, just like its perfection. What about you, Jonathan? Have you got one?
No, I'm gonna like say this. I'm gonna think of something like really later on. I think Cole will understand this unless either of you have also played Persona 5. But this is actually talking about
no, not yet.
So you know how like in the game they basically have every confidant you have adds some new skill to your entourage. For example, swapping out party members and all that.
Yeah.
I really wish they would have brought that to the remake of Persona 3. As I'm playing it, I'm sitting here like, I know like they're doing a pretty clean cut remake, but it would have been so nice to see stuff like brought over. So it made the game a lot more, you know. I'm trying to think of the actual word for it, but like you can like build your game to the way you want to build your parties and all that.
They don't incentivize interactions in the earlier Personas, like Persona 5, you kind of want to go out of your way to meet the other, because there is missable confidence in 5.
No, basically Persona 4 did it first, where they added in stuff like, oh, your party members will take hits for you, and they'll do like ultra attacks, they'll get more moves and all that. Persona 3, all it does is you basically can like combine and fuse more people, and if you have like a higher rank, you can get more levels when you fuse them. That's about it. But if they brought like the Persona 5 hit on it, where for example you can get confidence with your teammates and get new moves or new like finishers, that'll be like really good. That's my take on it at least.
That's fair. I think that's true. Like, there's always those certain parts of games we play. You know, you're replaying a classic, and you're like, oh, but this section, you know, you're like, you know, is this section is the bane of the game. It's like, then again, like, you know, you never think about. I think that you can't just enjoy the entire game. There always has always big. Don't get me wrong, there's certain games that you can, but there seems to be the way.
Yeah.
That is the end of Quizzes, Quandaries, and Quips. Once again, fantastic title. So the next section, I think, is going to get pretty rough. I think we're all angry at each other. And this is recommendation or damnation. Oh, I'm just going to do a quick update on the board. Jonathan has one more episode, so by the next episode, he needs to beat SMT3, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. If he doesn't, Donald chooses his tattoo for him.
I actually have an idea for the tattoo already.
I'm not letting you get away with it!
No,
he has...
It's not bad.
Jonathan also has 2 more episodes to beat the Evil Within.
No, he has to 100% them.
No, we've discussed this. I'm doing a Kuma mode. I'm doing a Kuma mode on Evil Within.
Yeah.
You don't get a Kuma mode right away, though.
Yes, you have to at least 2 playthroughs anyway.
Oh,
so
God, I'm gonna speedrun them.
Then going on to me, because I'm the only one else with punishment, is the bullets per minute game volume recommend. I have 2 more episodes to beat that, and I have to 100% it. Yeah, that's the updates. What I would say is we'll start with Connell. Oh, sorry, forgot about it. Did everybody watch the video? I downloaded everybody to watch the
video. It was very good. It was a good explanation on the duality of the man, which is why I really wanted to step back from the hot take one, because it was hard.
Yeah, like I knew when you started talking about it, like how you felt about it. Yeah,
it was alright.
Yeah, And thank you, William.
Too strong to say your true feelings, and I see.
I damned you guys to watch that because I knew the episode. I knew it would soften you guys when I brought Last of Us 2 the next part.
Yeah.
I thought ahead. So yes, Connell, we'll start with you. Are you recommending or damning? And you can do as much as you want. You can do all three of us. You can recommend, or you can damn all three of us, or you can recommend one person, damn one person.
I'll leave William out this time because I know he wants to play the recommendation I gave him last time.
I want to be really clear. William has got no dams so far.
That's very nice. I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you know what? See for that Diablo 2 bullshit?
That was idea.
No, you told me the game. You told me.
No. Do you know what, William? I'm damning you. Actually, yeah, from trying to give me my MGS Survive and Diablo 2 with Johnny, you conspirator. You know what? I am at least wanting you to beat Super Meat Boy, right? But I want you to do it, beat the game, but then beat it again without Dan.
So follow
shit.
Right, that's what we near could hand to Diablo 2 and Metal Gear Survive. I think this is warranted.
Yeah, but he's already dead.
Well, it's about time.
Jesus.
So you need to beat it once, and then you need to
beat it flawlessly. Beat the game without Dan. Yeah.
Is there an achievement or a trophy for that to prove that he did it?
There is specific section trophies, achievements. Sorry, so yes.
So I have to do a couple. So I can do like section by section.
Yeah, I'm completely fine with that. Yeah, I'll not be like I have to do it in one go. No, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Jonathan.
Uh-oh.
So I've given you 2.
Yeah.
Do you know, I will take my heat off your neck a bit. I feel like everyone's going to think I'm going to gun for you here, but I'm going to recommend you something.
Okay.
I'm going to actually recommend you play at least one of the newer Dragon Quest games.
Okay.
I'll leave that up to you for thing. They're pretty good RPGs.
Okay.
But I'll give you 11. I recommend you play 11.
11.
I will play 11.
Tristan. Have you ever played Ape Escape?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna damn you with this because I kind of want to see you do this. So,
for God's sake.
I'm gonna add more on this plate. Hold on.
Or she just kicked me from the company now.
That's more fun this way.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. You are gonna be damned with platinuming Ape Escape.
I don't like the games whatsoever, by the way.
Well, called Sly Raccoon shit. Fuck you.
Yeah, Ape Escape shit too.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah, I'll platinum Ape Escape, no worries.
And no matter well, I'm already screwed anyway, so fuck it.
I know you are.
Go.
Jonathan.
Hola!
Dalmatian, your recommendation.
Now, I'm going to be quite light here. I'm going to give one person one recommendation, and that's you, Tristan. Now, I think you might actually
you already got Demon Roots.
Oh, no, I know. I already know. I gave you that as a recommendation, too. There's no damning with you. But I saw how you were really keen on the father and daughter bonding of the Last of Us games, so I'm going to give you a similar game. Have you ever heard of Lisa the Joyful?
No.
Okay. Well, I've just checked there. It's about £8 on PlayStation for the Definitive Edition. It gives you 2 separate stories involving a pretty close bond between a father and a daughter, and about how it can be strained. So I'd love you to play that.
Lisa the Joyful?
Lisa the Joyful. I'll send you it later on.
Is that a sequel to Lisa the Painful?
It is.
Would I play that one first? Is it on PlayStation?
I think if you get the Definitive Edition, you get both.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, okay. I'll play that.
I'll double check, but I'm pretty certain.
Very nice. Yeah. That's it then. That's all you've recommended.
Yeah, I'm being very kind. I've thrown you 2 under a giant bus.
I've got 3
me and Will are very sly, so you know.
I've got 3 buses
like
on
you shot
me.
us in the legs. You shot us in the legs and then pointed the gun. I go, nah.
No, I would never. I would never hurt my bro William. I would never.
Yeah.
Please don't kill me.
William.
I'm gonna recommend you something, John.
Okay.
Since I brought it up, I'm gonna recommend you should play Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines.
Okay.
It's one of my favorite RPGs of all time in terms of story, character customization, the characters you meet, NPCs and stuff. Some of the best written characters like in games. That's it. And Connell, because you told me.
I legit have 3 buses on me. Just add more.
Quad dagger.
The 4th one is I'm gonna want you since I have to do the pretty much. Would you say 100% should be boy that do it with no damage?
No, because then if I was being evil, it would have to be with every character.
Okay, well then I'll just say you have to 100% Marvel's Midnight Suns.
Holy shit!
It's not bad, actually. It's not bad. 3 months.
You do not have to do DLCs, obviously.
I'll probably do DLCs.
Oh, could you say again? Then it's Connell has to do.
I have to
Marvel's Midnight Suns.
I have to platinum Midnight Suns.
And you cannot do it on the easiest difficulty. You must do it on the hardest difficulty available at the time.
Can I play through it?
I do not have a damnation.
Yeah, you get one playthrough.
Okay.
Yeah, normal. But you can't get all the achievements on easy. So then you get away with that one.
Let me see the.
You're going to be covered in
Let me get the audience, the rating here for the audience first.
I have no idea. I just know it's Steam.
It is a 4. 50 hours. I will take that. And it needs 2 playthroughs anyway, so that is fine.
That second play, again, you can't play it easy. In the way you unlock higher difficulty, so you'll play the second play to the highest difficulty you have unlocked.
I think there is. Yeah, no, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Sweet.
It's actually a fun game, to be fair. So.
No, I have seen it. I'm happy with that. Yeah. I think that's fair. I think this is the lesser. The other buses.
Well, get ready for it, Connell, because here we go.
I forgot you started to go for fuck's sake.
I'm going to dom every single one of you.
Well, again.
Why me?
Because, Connell, you're going to love me for this one.
No, I'm not. I've got too much of a fucking.
He's got 5 on his back.
We are doing 5 as the limit, don't worry.
No. Oh. Okay, hit me.
William's first. I damn you, William, to 100% Celeste every achievement on Steam.
Oh my god!
Looks like I'm playing platformers, I guess. Like least favorite genre.
I'm so lucky because I've actually done the game, yeah.
I challenge you to get every single achievement on Steam for Cuphead.
That's not too bad.
I'd rather that one, to be
That's
fair.
a light one for him.
I would rather that one over Celeste.
I would rather Celeste over this one.
Yeah, can we swap?
No.
Well, actually, Jonathan, I take that back. You seem too happy about that. You're going to get the same as Connell. You lied about Diablo. You tried to give me Diablo 2.
No.
Jonathan and Connell, I want you to get every single achievement or trophy in Ninja Gaiden 2.
You're a monster. You're
I'm fine
a
with
bastard.
Celeste.
No,
Why
no,
did I
Liam,
get hit
you were
with
talking about a swap? You were talking about a swap? Yeah.
Hold on. Why did I get hit with this? I want to know your reasoning for this, because I give you an 8-hour game. And you know what next month is. You know what next month is. You know what next month is, you fucking asshole.
This is an insurance to make sure that I get someone punished next month.
This is the last episode I'm gonna be in. I'm gonna die.
Get a tattoo!
I tell you what, see if I 100% these 5 games, Tristan, you're never winning this platinum back. I have stacked 30 points.
That'd be like 10 points.
I want to make it clear for the audience and for everybody else, these are all worth double points.
So, I've stacked up, right, so we'll not touch on what the first boss is. Jump King's a 9, so that's 8, right? Marvel Midnight Suns is 2, so it's already 10. Ninja Gaiden 2 is probably going to be another 8. And then what was the other one?
Ninja Gaiden 2, by the way, is I think a 10 out of 10 difficulty.
Fuck's sake.
Oh my god.
So, want to make it also clear that you have got 5 damnations. We cannot damn you.
Recommendations from here on out.
I'm just
we cannot damn you for 3 episodes.
Ninja Gaiden.
So just everybody remember, no dams. I have.
Suns. Wait, so what else have I got? Jump King, Ninja Gaiden,
Marvel Midnight Songs.
The next
More
one.
Heroes 3 is the
No
challenge.
More Heroes.
But that's not 3 months. You have whoever first gets it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, boys! You just want me to quit gaming?
No, we're gonna force you into your game. We're gonna force you out of your gamer block by making you hate everything except games.
Like.
Wow. I believe in you, Ninja Gaiden.
Cool, no, we have faith in you. We have faith in you.
Money.
It's okay, Colonel. It'll be okay. You just have to sell everything you own.
God, thank God.
Oh yeah, Jonathan, you do have to do
next month.
Ninja Gaiden 2 as well.
So I've got Shin Megami, Evil Within, and Ninja Gaiden 2.
Justin, I feel like the next episode will not be
Can I
good
change my damnation?
No.
The next episode won't be good for me.
Yeah.
No, I'm coming back for this. I'm slapping you back for this.
I want to make it clear. You may come at me with everything you've got, but I only have room for 1 more. Oh, no, 2 more dominations. Shit.
Well, me and you
this next month we are going to be scheming, plotting.
Yeah.
I'm getting back. Right, you know what? Well, fair enough. You give me a light one. You're off the hook. You're off the hook. Johnny and Tristan, I'm coming for you.
You seemed excited for Johnny. I don't know why you're so sad.
Can I tell you what everybody's tattoo is going to be?
No, do you want to keep it a secret?
Oh.
I want to know my one. I want to know my one.
I'm going to tell you right now. It's going to be one of the PSN names I've used.
No! I need to do Super Meat Boy first.
I'm doing it. To be fair, William, I have a nice tattoo idea.
Yeah, so I'm going to do Celeste first and have Super Meat Boy be the second.
I'm going to get Jonathan tattooed Advice Anubis on his right shoulder.
No, just get around the cuff of my wrist, so it's like, what's your name? And I just pop it up at people.
William, you're getting Cowboy Chainsaw?
Yes.
No, I want to swap now, I want to swap!
Yeah, can I just lose?
Can I not get the name? Can we get like can we get our editor to make like a pixel thing for it? Because I don't want writing on my body.
Well, yeah, we can work with it, whatever flexible, because you will be getting it. Let's be honest.
Okay. I see how it is. Right.
Get out of this rut, man. Right, that was the most chaotic section of recommendation or domination. I think we all just hate each other now.
I'm gonna kill myself.
That brings us to the end of the show, guys. To be honest, we want to talk about a wee thing.
Last podcast.
The last podcast, yeah. I just want to bring up some things. In the month of March was a great and sad month for me. My daughter turned 1, which was absolutely fantastic, and so proud of her. And she's so strong, and she beats me up. I love it. I did, however, also lose my dog, who was my best friend for 15 years, Phoebe. And I said to the guys about just making a wee mention there on the podcast.
Yeah. Of course.
I have too many stories about this stupid dog. She was the stupidest dog ever. Most lovely dog as well. Nothing but loving her. So glad she got to meet my daughter. She was there for me. But Jesus, the amount of memories I have of her. And these guys even too. I'm probably getting in trouble for saying this. My dog was definitely an alcoholic. They loved the beer. And me and her every Christmas would have a whiskey together. She would have a wee whiskey. We'd watch some Always Sunny in Philadelphia Christmas special, usually. and share a beer for her. And the guys had seen her plenty of times. And I miss her 100%. But she's not. She's gone but not forgotten, as they say. And I just think it's a bittersweet note to end on this episode. But I think that everybody listen to this, and all of us should just really appreciate the little things in life we have. Because you don't really get them for that much, as long as you would think. And we all love dogs in this podcast. We all got dogs that we love.
We all got that dog in
Lucky
us.
Still have Gizmo.
Oh, that dog in us.
Got that dog in us.
Got Pinocchio stuff.
You have no dogs. Your dog is a puppet.
Yes, Gizmo is real. As much as people try to deny that.
We don't think so. We have not seen this dog move without Tristan manipulating the dog.
Yeah, like every time we see Gizmo held up, is somehow Tristan's hand is always at his rear end. So I'm gonna say that it's something to do with it.
Gizmo more like
Pinocchio,
but yeah.
He did not help me today when I showed him on the camera.
He did. He froze. He froze up.
No, he did it on badness. He as soon as I took the camera off, he ran away. Like he knows. He's
yeah, sure.
And, I'm sure he misses Phoebe to a certain extent.
Yeah,
but she did not. She wasn't that fond of him. She used to just sit on him. He wasn't. And I just eat his food. Like towards the end, when Phoebe was getting sick, she was having seizures and stuff. But she would have a seizure, and then she would still try to eat her food. She didn't care. She was just like, "That's food. That's what I'm having." But yeah, lovely dog. Just to end the podcast, always as I always try to say on my sign off, remember to laugh at yourself. Life can get pretty difficult sometimes, and as this podcast shows, we are chaotic all over the place. Clearly hate each other.
Oh yeah.
But at the end of the day, podcast all about love, positivity, and appreciating things in your life. Lost some great people in March. Phoebe, Akira Toriyama, loads of people like that. Loads of amazing things. But yeah, that's the end of the podcast, guys. See you later.
Adios.